We'll try and get through Group E, and that will start with a very fun matchup here. Freddy versus Mastermind. Freddy, as we start up Group E here, looking for a win over Mastermind in the battle of the scenery chewers. I think you can say two very loquacious individuals, though not this Freddy, unfortunately. This is a more taciturn remake Freddy, apparently. Charging Dream Snare, looking to connect with Rebecca, doesn't, but opportunity for the hit before they get to the pally. Yeah, an odd line by Rebecca. And Freddy absolutely wants to take advantage of this and try and close down this chase. Remember, the add-on for the greater hindrance for the Dream Snares could be very important here, and that should be a dying state. It will be. Good start for Fred. Good start for Fred. Just pure M1 killer fundamentals. But does enough to get the business. Is pain res makeable? Certainly, and that is 100% where Freddy's going to go. Plus some good surge value on those gens, so lots to like. Lots to like. And scratch marks were in the area. Looking to hide in main, but Freddy just too aware for that sort of thing. Looking to put a Dream Snare ahead of them. Does it connect? It does not. Good evasion from Michon. Boone in Shack. Gotta be cautious. That could be something like Dark Theory. That could be pretty bad. As that does not traverse over basement. As the vault. Again. Dream Snare in play. On the pallet. Doesn't connect again. Oh. And just comes up dismally short on the swing. But does at least get rid of Shack pallet. There is something to be said for that. As the unhook. And the snare missing again between the two survivors. M1 on Mr. Cage. Very Dream Snare focused right now. Does also have obviously pallets in his possession, does Freddy. Not been using them yet. Will maybe be looking to get some value from those in the late game. Dream Snare just connects. The extra hindrance, that should be enough for the dying state. It is. The medium vault confirms it. Alright, so a gem pops, but if you're Freddy, if you're the Freddy team, you're not too worried about that. A decent set of plays from him. Obviously, Shack pallet gone. Could be huge down the line. Thinking about where to go next. Heading roughly around to Shack. That's where the gem popped. There be survivors moving. Shack gen, apparently not. There is a little bit of movement here. They'll finally start popping some pallets down as well. More rupture opportunities in the future. Make this entire side of the map a bit of a nightmare. And away he goes. Ooh, someone was in the vicinity. Brings down the Dream pallet. And then it's Rebecca who flees to Shack. Big opportunity for the Dream Snare. It does connect. They won't be hindered yet. They need to be asleep first, of course. Apologies if I've missed that interaction before. That would not have provided hindrance if they were awake. As Rebecca does drop the pallet. Doesn't vault. There's the M1. Almost missing with that there. A nifty little move in the open field. Not quite enough to deny Freddy. So that would be the drop. And they run around again. Rebecca seems quite averse to the notion of vault. Does so there, but a little bit too little. And a little bit too late. Second hook for her. As there goes the second gen. A basement hook could be very, very important for Freddy here. Thinking about ways of turning this into a 3-survivor game. So many games could have been better for these killers had they only got someone out that bit earlier. So that will definitely be on Freddy's mind here. It's Nicolas Cage on the gen. Dream Snare doesn't connect. Big miss there. Heads upstairs. Freddy won't mind this one bit unless they have balanced landing. Doesn't look like it. So chase is still on. Snare. Just misses again. Another important Polygon goes to the blind, gets it. Freddy just loses track of him, unfortunately. Unlooking basement needs to happen, and it does. Could have teleported directly to Shaq. Not sure why he didn't. Left a lot on the table with that move. And not able to follow up on either survivor. 2 gens left. This could be the time to try and get Rebecca out of this game. That's certainly what he's going to try and do. That doesn't connect again, but Rebecca may have taken a poor line. Does she get to the pallet? Oh, it's an outrageous body block and no injury. Very confusing stuff with Yui. The hit finally happening there. If that one didn't connect, there would have been some serious questions. Very surprising, very strange. Presumably be pallet through. Rebecca moving this way, which is a real surprise. Lost a lot of distance with that move. Still nicely ahead, but the snare connects. It'll be a massive hindrance, and this could be all she wrote. Could still be dead hard. No. Will there be a save of some kind here? The self-will going on, but Freddy's not going to be taken away from the potential to turn this into a 3-5 game, which, assuming there's a hook, which there is, he will. Okay. And you feel like after a slow start to the game, that kind of move is exactly what he needed, but this 3-gen is atrocious for him. Very little movement on 5-gen, but it was this one all along. Deary me, had no notion of how far along that gen was. Got the hook very close by, but just didn't think to check it. As Nicolas Cage brings down the pallet, gets the ball, doesn't get the blind. Looking for the dream snare to connect. It does. The hindrance. Go for the blind, bit too late. No, still gets it. What a shame. What a shame for Freddy. Still keeping on him. Lumps that vault, does Nicolas Cage, but never goes back. Always runs through or goes upstairs. Now, no one on the gate. Great news. There's still hooks on the table here for Freddy. How many? Because right now, this is already looking like game, set, and match for Mastermind, who is a real competitor when it comes to great dodge. When it comes to World Cup performances, 4 hooks almost certainly will not be enough. Oops there. Dream Pallet. Trying to get ahead of Michonne. Trying to make a play here. Teleporting to the gate. Doesn't teleport directly to the gate. They did not anticipate Freddy right there. As Michonne might go back from recovery. I stay here. Gates open. That's all about how Michonne plays this. Moving back to find Nicolas Cage. There he is, getting the hook here. That's a really, really, really fine effort from Freddy here. There's the unhook. Can he beat them to the gate? Does he need to teleport here? There's the heal. But gonna be teleporting in the wrong location there as Yui gets the unhook. Should be a trade at least. It will be. They might fear Blood Warden here. They might now leave. If they do, that will leave Freddy with 8 hooks. Are they going to? Are they going to? Remember as well, you have the ability to teleport to the exit gate if you're Freddy. That could catch them unawares if they're healing off the line. They are healing. You could play this a number of ways if you're Freddy. You might want to encourage the heal to force them to come back to get more out of this game. And that might be what he's doing. Taking a kind of wide line to the gate. Now choosing to teleport. Sees Nicolas Cage moving in. Michonne somewhere in the vicinity as well. There she is. There he is. Both here. Both looking for a save. Dream Snare coming out. Big opportunity here. Nicolas Cage with the injury. Teleport will not be back anytime soon. This could be all over. Oh, he needs to make something happen, and it doesn't feel like the opportunity is going to present itself, does it? Michonne able to take a hit. Maybe like one feint could move through here. Nah, GG. So what will that be? That'll end up being 7 hooks. 7 hooks for Freddy. Will that be enough to fend off Mastermind? Possibly not. GG. Yeah, only 11 because Jason forgot about the hatch offering. Which, rookie nerves, I think you'd have to say. No rookie nerves here from Masterminds. Don't know where that no came from. Eerie of Crows for him. See how it goes. 7 hooks for the draw. 8 hooks for the win. Oh. 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 Scene partner somewhere. That'll be Jake. Away he goes. And here is the start for Wesker. Has been such a really strong World Cup competitor in pretty much every tournament. There was a very long period during which Wesker only had 4Ks. Average hooks per game of 12. Hasn't quite maintained that level, but has still been mighty, mighty consistent. See how it goes here. That very much could be lucky break, it feels like. Just gone. No sign of Jake anymore. Got to go elsewhere. Alright, Robin up ahead. Looking for a bound and... oh, just misses out. Good dodge from Robin. You always have to get the sense of what team you're up against. So far, it's looking scary, isn't it? As Jake gets healed, which... if you're Wesker, at least you're happy there's no gem movement while that heal's going on, but you'd much rather have a hook. Oh, Lithe! Which will be countered! Right into a blind, but you can't blind the bound grab. Another key part of Wesker's arsenal. He cannot blind the bound. And unfortunately, the whiff on Hinako there means that you just can't quite get to that Painrez hook that you desperately would have wanted in the early game. That could be vital. We'll see. Good pallet stun from Hinako. Not looking for the torch. Not looking for the blind there. Keeps on moving. Wesker going to double back. Knows that there is gem movement off in this corner. Gem movement right here. There's Alucard. And Jake somewhere nearby as well. Fascinating. Just a brief little mind game there to try and close down the gap ever so slightly. Will that work out? We'll see. We'll see. There's Alucard. Goes back around here. Good bound. Right in the corner, which could work well for Wesker. Limited options for Alucard, looking for this dying state, looking finally for that first Painrez. Gets the start, unfortunate, and the blind thereafter. No Champion of Light at least. 2 bounds in play. You feel like Wesker needs Painrez and needs it soon. Will the second bound connect? No chance. No chance. Holds on to it. Stays on the chase. Alucard to another pallet, runs through. Bounds in play here, and not quite going to get him. Comes back around. Good move there. Should be a dying state. It will be. The pallet stun could be on for anyone around. Going to pick up immediately and hope that that allows them not the time for the play. And indeed, that is the case. As Robin goes to the blind. Wesker wise to such things. Gets the Painrez hook. And a really good opportunity here for another dying state if Wesker can get those bounds in play. Oh, that is agonizing for Wesker. Held back by the branch above the head. And that's the kind of thing where you're like, if the game hinges on such a play, you'll be very, very frustrated. Unfortunate for Wesker. Back on Robin. Good target in this situation. Looking to get ahead to second hook. Still got that Painrez token left. As there's a blind. This is Champion of Light. We'll be looking to get as much distance as possible. There's the bounce. Dodges. And patience. And gets them. Okay. Needed that. You felt like this was a crucial point in the game. And it definitely is as the gens begin flying in spite of the one Painrez token. There's the unhook. Looking for a mind game. Gets nothing? Okay, well, Wesker would have gone from miffed to positively incandescent with rage if that had not connected. Okay. As we were saying, Robin Second hook still has the pain res to give. Shouldn't be another gem pop before he gets this. There we go. So hopefully that stalls any gen progress. There will be no nasty surprises in the immediate future. Oh, the gen locations are just okay. Not fantastic for Wesker. With how quickly the gens are popped, you'd hope for a bit of a better 3-gen here, but no chance this will be a pallet burn. It won't be. Wow, that was bold. Bold from Jake there, as there is a bit too much movement for Wesker's liking. Moves around this way, looking to push them back towards the hook. Getting the kick here. As Hinako heads off in this direction. This does still leave Alucard on the gem, which is quite scary. Still a pallet here. What? Oh my god, in a game marred by weird non-hits, there is something going ridiculously in Wesker's favour. I don't even know how that happens. What a weird server we might be looking at here. Is Jake trying to go for the heel, looking for a bound. Gets it on Robin. What a huge opportunity this is. To make this a 3-survivor game, absolutely vital. Oh my god, Robin shuts the door on Jake. Dying state there. Goes for the blind afterwards. Might fall beholden to Jake after such a pallet throw, and this could be a 2 dying state situation. Dead Hard could be in play. It isn't. It isn't. Can leave Robin on the floor. Go for the pain res hook here. Hopefully wait out any potential decisive strike that Robin could have. There could also be a recovery from maybe Alucard. Unlikely to be Hinako going for this save while injured, but you never know. Pain res here. Still a 2-gen game. Could Mastermind be bringing this back? It's possible. It's possible. Still the dying state for Robin. Is there anyone here? There is not. Is it still DS? It isn't. It isn't. A gem pops in spite of pain res, which is gutting. But Wesker is in a much better spot now than he was even 5 minutes ago. Right back on that unhook. As the second gem pops, I mean, some of these gem pops are just so bewildering. At the very least, there is Terminus. There is no way out. There is the potential for Wesker to continue stalling this game. He has 5 hooks. He needs 2 more for the draw, as there won't be the vault there. It's a great play from Hinako. There's no way out, so the timer is set on the gates. Hinako needs to stall Wesker out. Brings the pallet down quite early. Runs around looking for Shaq pallet, presumably. Goes for it. Oh! The grab is denied! What is this game? What are these hits in both directions? This is absolutely outrageous. Wesker has to go elsewhere now. This is ludicrous, ludicrous stuff here. And Wesker can't be entirely angry because it has gone in both directions. 1 hit granted on Hinako, although the Wesker team will be saying, what was the point in that? It didn't really do anything for them. Whereas some of these non-hits have been far more outrageous and far more impactful. As that'll be a non-hit on Jake. That one at least does make sense. And again, just elusiveness all over. Jake somehow gets around back here. And doubles back. And gets the window. Does have superior anatomy here, does Wesker. That could be very useful. In fact, finally, that perk gets the dying state. And this is an important hook. Wesker could play very, very conservatively here. Could just guard the hook and secure the draw. If he can get the kill here, plus any other hook, he will sneak all 3 points with an 8-hook victory. Now this is really what kind of killer is Wesker and what kind of strategy does this team have. And it does look like he's going to try and put some pressure on here. Alucard gets the gate. That still leaves Hinako. You hate that you give away that gate there. Was trying to keep aware of the number of lights, but just had the wrong angle. Thought there were none, but instead there's all 3, and that gate is open, and that means that now Wesker is highly, highly pressured. The one thing on side here is Terminus, the broken status, and the fact that Hinako can't heal. Meaning that if they're going to get the save, Alucard needs to be a little bit brave about it. And it doesn't look like he's being all that brave. Oh, it's risky, but he's going to make a play for it. He's going to make a play for it. He needs to push Alucard away from the gate. He does! Does he get the injury? No! It's absolutely gutting. He has 1 bound. There's death on the gate. Injury there. It won't be enough. It won't be enough. Unless Alucard plays like a fool on the line, that will be a draw. Wow. GG. Wow. 7-7 between Freddy and the Mastermind. We go now to Unknown versus the Dark Lord. Unknown on Macmillan. And in the matchup with the Dark Lord, every hook is going to be important here. You anticipate the Dark Lord will put up a good performance here, so Unknown needs to come out the gate doing the same. And it's a good early find on Maggie. Patience with the UVX. Not patient enough. Not patient enough. Shame. Good hit. Best of both worlds there. They kind of held their line to try and dodge the UVX. That gives Unknown a really good opportunity to get the injury there. Oh, unfortunate bounce, and they'll get rid of the UVX before Unknown's able to do anything here. Another pallet. Not the start they wanted. Gotta leave. Gotta leave. Obviously, too early to say the game's over, but would have been looking for more. A few too many UVXs not bearing fruit. And a few too many pallets to the face. Good UVX there. Unknown, it just anticipated Punk's movements, put the UVX where it needed to be. Patience, patience here, patience, patience. It's not going to be good enough. And there goes the weakened status. M1? No. Oh, is it going to be one of those games? You know what I'm talking about. You've seen good games here, and you've seen games where just the killer could not get any kind of momentum. And it very much looks like it's the latter right here. Wide open throttle to block the pallet. Oh, Unknown expecting a little double back maneuver there. Not going to get it. And another pallet to the face. How much more of this can the Unknown take? Maggie. UVX. Will the Unknown finally get an injury? Lots of gem movement. One pops already. Yes, they do vault. Unknown anticipating maybe a non-vault there. And reading the Unknown like a book at the team right now. Nothing quite happening. An M1. Okay. Stopping back immediately. Ably countered by the Unknown. And again. Again, not getting anything done with the UVX. Vanishing box makes them weakened. Big opportunity here for an injury. Doesn't capitalise. Doesn't capitalise. Got to remember the vault perks here. Not been doing a lot of vaulting so far, the Unknown. Those could be a good way of bringing this game back. M1. Another injury. They're still weakened as well, so one good UVX hit could send this back in the Unknown's direction. Ugh, that's not going to do it. And the whiff with the UVX punctuated by the removal of the weakened state. Could there be a swing here? Nightmare scenes for the Unknown. And things going better and better if you're a fan of the Dark Lord at the moment. It's looking like a draw by default. Unknown really needs to get the hook out there. Not able to there. Unbelievable play from Hanako. Great awareness to bring the pallet down and vault immediately. UVX does connect. Takes a very fortunate bounce off the vault. And could this be the start of something for the Unknown? Still a 4-gen game. That's very deceptive. You anticipate a gem popping very, very soon. And maybe another one shortly thereafter. Holding patience, patience, patience. Gets the dying state. Assuming no save here. Unknown's on the board. And will at least be asking the question of the Dark Lord. But look at this gem movement there. However, Maggie in the area, injured, putting the UVX ahead of them. Great injury there as well. Here we go. Will that breathe new life into this game for the Unknown? Could this be the start of something? UVX connects. Maggie in a really tough spot now. Live there. Might not be too concerning. UVX is back. Faking out to push him away from the tile. And then may just be going for it here. Oh, and they just remove the weakened state in time. And if that doesn't sum up the game for the Unknown, I don't know what does. No pallet burn is outrageous there. Good play. And that's not going to hit either. just everything an uphill battle for the Unknown, heading right to the periphery, eking out every possible second of this chase. There's the second hook. Not the game that the Unknown team envisioned. The game, unfortunately, that they're looking at here. There are just too many of these UVX. It's not bearing any fruit. Any connection, and there goes another. Weakened status. Injury possible here. Nope, they're just able to remove it as well. And you can complain about the level of survivors all you like. At the end of the day, Unknown show nothing here to prove that they are going to make it through to the playoffs. So there goes the last gen. Too many missed opportunities, too many whiffed UVXs. That one connects. If there's something to be said for the end game here, there is a healthy spread of weakened status. Good injury there. Movement on the gate. Unknown going to take this chase, maybe thinking about flicking the UVX over to the gate to put them under some pressure. Tries, fails, good awareness from the team. Gate's open. Should still be an opportunity for a dying state here. Could be a body block. Not quite. Maggie trying, Maggie failing. Gate going to be opened. Good anticipation, but they just get the gate open. Every little thing the Unknown has done right, and they have been few and far between, has been ably and completely countered by this team. What a tough game. As it stands, it will be the worst performance so far. But an endgame hook, and there is hope. There is a chance, as Hinako is waiting around there. Now here's something that could swing this back in Unknown's favour. Hinako, injured, too far from the gate to get there immediately. Unknown very happy to trade in this situation. Fang is healthy though. Fang is healthy and Fang is by the gate. The team gonna move in for saves. Move in for body blocks. Trying to get past them. Looking for Hinako. There she is! Oh, dead hard. And isn't that just a perfect way for this game to end? That is nightmarish. Over in a flash. Not able to do anything. Countered at every turn. And huge advantage, Dark Lord. As it's the Dark Lord on Almond Lake. That's not what it's called. Almond Lake Mine. Oh dear. Excuse me. Time for bats. Remember, 3 hooks. The total to beat on Almond Lake Echu. We'll see if the Dark Lord can do it. Should be very, very doable. Should be very, very doable. As there's Sable. Heads down. Someone else here. Look for the Hellfire. Doesn't quite connect. Going for an efficient play there. Injury. Well handled on the pallet there. Dropping down. Oh, that's too ambitious. Too ambitious there from Dracula. Not a bad effort by any stretch. Here comes the wolf form. Has the pounces in the back pocket. Has the speed in the back pocket. Has the M1 in the back pocket. And that will be a hook unless Cheryl over here wants to save. And they're certainly hanging around to try and make a play. Playing somewhat into the Dark Lord's hands right now. There should not be any way to get an angle here. No, and that will be hook number 1. Dark Lord 1/3 of the way there for a tie, 1/4 of the way there for a win already, and that's what we're talking about with the lousy score that Unknown has put on the board here. Not to be too nasty, but it was not what it was hoping for. Good little fake out by Dracula on the stairs there. Did you see that? Knowing that Sable knew that he dropped down once before. Faking out the drop down, getting the distance, getting the M1. Very good stuff there. Hoping to close his chase down rather quickly. Form again. One accusation levelled at Dracula has been that he's not been using wolf form enough, not been taking advantage of the haste and the pounces. He's looking to silence the doubters on this one. Will he? Can he? Always there's the Cuba Zoe. And there's the dying state. And that's why you love the cube. There's Dracula here. Not been his finest game so far. Chases have been a bit longer than he'd like. A gen has popped. However, again, the score to beat is so insignificant that he might be conserving his strength. But remember, I mean, hook stages are important for differential, for tiebreakers down the line. So maybe he does need to lock in just a little bit. Try and secure as many hooks as possible. Oh, and that's not going to do it. Dropping down the vault. Bit of a rookie error there, as there is gem movement. And there is Cheryl. Moving around. Looking for the ramp. Goes for it. Doesn't. Stays up. Just halting for a moment. Oh, no pallet burn. Good play. Anticipating the Hellfire coming out there. Gives away the M1. And is kind of locked in to the pallet here. Hellfire could be in play. They do drop. Oh, then they just run away. And this will be, assuming that Dracula converts this to a hook, and there is basement downstairs, this will be the tie confirmed. And there it is. There it is. 1 point, the absolute best that the Unknown can do, but with 4 gens still remaining. It feels like a tall order for Dracula to go hookless for the remainder of this game already, finding a chase here and feeling pretty good about his prospects. Going upstairs. There was someone going in for the basement unhook. Did they actually commit to this? No, there were scratch marks in the vicinity. But honestly, seems like a pretty good call to have not committed. Dracula was ready for a trade down there, which maybe could have sent the game further in his direction. It is Survivor leaving. Oh, and there's the unhook. Has he been duped there? He might have been. He might have been the victim of a little bit of a dupe. Hellfire. Not quite going to connect. What a shame. The crates in his way there. No pallet burn. Hellfire could be in play here. It is! Great hit there. Good awareness of the tile, good use of the corridor, very limited options for dodging. And Dracula choosing to go into war form. Early pounces here, trying to get the pallet out there. If it doesn't... Oh, Dead Hard is out there, though. Okay. Killer Instinct. The Vault. The one issue with war form, kind of tough to moonwalk. You do take a little bit of a haste detriment by doing some of those moonwalks around those walls. Oh, not dropping the pallet there. Very, very good from Sable. We'll drop this one. Shack pallet's gone. Well, I mean, it has to be said, it's an overlong chase. Can the cube maybe bring this to a close where conventional chasing has not? Not quite. Not quite. Good stuff from Sable. Oof, good play, but runs into a pile of snow. And assuming he gets the hook here, this will be the victory. And you talk about playing down to the opposition. There's just a notion here that Dracula's played, sorry, the Dark Lord, has played a kind of lackadaisical game, knowing the score to beat is so low. Maybe we'll end up leaving a few hooks on the table here. And again, that could come back to bite him later on. He'll be happy with the 3 points. It's a poor result for the Unknown, who went into this tournament expecting a little bit more. But there was never really any doubt with a score as low as 3 hooks. Dying state there. Hook upstairs. 2 survivors, both on death hook now. Oh, God. Cheryl right there. Dracula not ready for that. It's Kate. They fake out the Hellfire. Drop the pallet? They don't. They've not been bad, this team. They've not been bad. Good Hellfire there, though. Cutting off their options for dodging very capably. The cube. Is the cube going to be in play here? It's just a nightmare situation for a survivor. You find yourself in chase at the moment the add-on activates. And the options for escape grow dwindlingly thin. Platform. as he seeks to get back to the hook here to put some pressure on. No real teleport opportunities. There's Sable. Sable, remember, is death hook here. Going to start dropping all the pallets here. You want to keep yourself in the game for as long as possible, especially with that last gen on the horizon. They're going to see through this. Yes, they will. Just hoping for a bit of hesitation there. He gets it. Will it be the M1? It will be. Oof. Very close on that one. Looking for bat form to get ahead, following the scratch marks. And he's on them. There's the power of bat form. And that's something that he's not been using enough here. Dead Hard. Dead Hard is in play. Oh, ho, 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 ho. A real battle of the wheels there. And that can happen when the survivor and the killer both know that Dead Hard is in play. Or is that going to give away hits here to try and stop this hook? There's the blind. Can Dracula still stop the gen from popping? Injury there. And they're not able to commit. That's huge. There's the blind from Kate. Did get the kick. Did get the regression. Hellfire. Opportunity. Gets it. And the gen's still regressing. Is there someone being aggressive, trying to get it moving? Again, there is. And giving away the kick. There you go. This isn't Dracula's first rodeo. He knows exactly how to counter that. M1 under the pallet. They bring it down. He gets it kicked. Ooh. He's fighting for every hook here. And as well he might. Again, I can't stress the importance enough of hook differential. Not going to let Cheryl get back on that gen. Oh, Dead Hard. He saw it, but by the time he'd seen it, he was already committed to the hit. Cheryl goes around here. Decent enough move. Dying State there, checking on the gen again. No longer regressing. Are they going to get it? Yes, they are. Will still be a Dying State. Okay. Well, that will certainly salvage some all-important hooks here for Dracula. All eyes on Fung now. They've got a lot to do if they're going to bring this game back for anything other than a simple one-person escape. No intel on them. Going to take the second hook here. They've opened the gate, and they might have seen enough. Have they? Have they? Gate there. There they are. No way they're making this play. No way they're getting these saves. Is there any chance that with the bats you can catch them out of position? No way. Ah, there they go. It'll be an 11 hook performance for the Dark Lord, which isn't bad. Obviously that door has just been left ajar in terms of max hook differential, but it is handily enough to secure the 3 points. Dark Lord gets the win on the back of 11 hooks unknown. It just wasn't good enough. Maybe the worst performance of the tournament so far. We'll round out Group E with Nemesis versus Doctor. Nemesis on the Decimated Borgo. Lethal Pursuer here, his build is that with Eruption, and then just big aura reading, looking for as much intel as possible. Also running an add-on that gets more mutation rate from hits on survivors, starts that up really nicely with a solid hit on Shane, looking for a second. Gets it. Gets it. Tier 2 already. Now, this is where Nemesis has suffered in the past. Slow starts, not getting the mutation rate where it needs to be. Oh my god, but no issues at all there. There could be a pallet save. If not, he's made an absolutely flying start here. Good stuff from Nemesis. Doctor, of course, no pushover, so he will need his wits about him if he's going to bring this back. He'll start kicking gens as well. Looking for aura reading, looking to see if there's anyone hanging around. Doesn't seem like it. Someone heading off to main. Big gem movement in this little outhouse. Well, not outhouse, but smaller building over here. It's not an outhouse, to be clear. And the whip doesn't connect. Damn, got hit with a barrel there, it seems. Is able to get another eruption kick out there. And now, any dying state will have huge implications for the state of the gens. This is a very important part of this game right here. Looking for that tier 2 hit. Gets it. No dodge offer from Sable. That might work in Nemesis' favour for the rest of this chase. Sable looking for the pallet. Doesn't bring it down. Oh, not quite able to make that hit. Zombie putting some pressure on here. Zombie putting a lot of pressure on here. Zombie gets the hit. Sable giving away the injury to the zombie. Well navigated by Nemesis there, using the zombie to his advantage. And may have to bring down Shaq Pallet. They don't want to. And that will be a dying state. And there's Eruption. Massive, massive gem regression. Exactly what we were talking about for Nemesis there. Basement hook. DC for Sable. They don't want any part of this. They might already see the writing on the wall. It's ludicrous. It's a ludicrous DC. It's very early on in this game. That is what they've chosen to do. Which I suppose is their right. Gem movement here. Survivors here as well. Shane trying to take Nemesis away. Big opportunity here. Not been dodging too much as Shane takes the first hit. One gen gone. Another one will pop. You just want to avoid 3 popping here. You want to avoid the 2 gen situation. As that tier 3 probably connects there. Tier 2 alas does not. Says live. Taking a big wide line there. All the way into top corner. There's another gen gone. Tough stuff. Tough stuff. Gen progress. Quite substantial here, in spite of a pretty decent start for Nemesis. Maybe a slightly overlong opening chase of Sable. Sable, who does have Resurgence there, so there's the quick heal. Brother around the Harry Bell. That's Taeyong. A lot of sprint burst in this lobby. Has to be said. Opportunity to play kind of cautiously here. Guards the unhook from the team. As that's a great move from Taeyong. Gets the pallet with it. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Goes to the blind. Gets it. Champion of Light as well. Is there's a chance they've gone in this locker? Okay. Didn't see any scratch marks. Made a prediction. Didn't quite work out. Kind of low risk, high reward there. They've got to get this unhook quickly. If they don't, they'll be handling this game with 3 survivors. So Nemesis is going to pivot over here. So surprising no one's here right now. They do not have a lot of time. Anti-camp could be in play. Taeyong coming in for the save. There's the M1. They still get the unhook. It will be a trade. Shane looking to flee. Gets the pallet. May pre-drop. Does. Endurance hit there. They'll at least need to mend. There's tier 3. And Nemesis comes back. Someone's moving in for potentially a save here. Cool. Injury there. Finally going to get this hook, but another gen does pop. And if you're Nemesis now, you might need to find a way of getting Shane out of this game. And I feel like it has to be a 3 survivor situation. Very nice intel from Barbecue. The bot pre-running for their life there. Goodness me, from the bot. As a kick. Once again, you can kind of play a similar game if you're Nemesis to that which you were doing before. Guarding the hook from the survivors, all amassed in the far left corner. Pushing the bot away. You feel like there must be some movement going on in Shaq. In fact, there's more than that. There's movement in the basement of Shaq. They'll just get out. Going for a heal down there, it seems. Very risky, very bold. It does seem like things may have shifted in Nemesis's favor, and there's a dying state for Shane. And barring a save of some kind. This is a huge, huge play. As you've got presumably Felix, who blinds the zombie. They'll be moving in for the save. Not before second hook stage, so another Death Hook survivor in play. M1 on Felix. Pivoting. Pivoting here, going after Taeyong, who presumably has already used Sprint Burst. Doesn't have that back. With connects tier 3 in play. C the shadow through the wall on Borgo. And that will be enough to close down the chase. Could be DS. Nemesis will feel at this stage like he can probably risk it. Oh, and it is a DS. 2 survivors remaining. Felix in the basement is close to ideal. Do they get this heal? Oh, it might be close. Oh, it might be close. Oh, it probably was quite close if they were committing through that. And all that's left for Nemesis now is to try and find Sablebot to deny any possibility of hatch. That's what he's going to try and do. The Sablebot moving upstairs main building. You could play this a different way if you're Nemesis. You could just wait by Shack to ensure that you shut hatch. He's backing himself to close down the chase with the bot before that is even an issue. And definitely wants to keep the bot in that corner as far from Shack as possible. This works perfectly. This works absolutely perfectly for Nemesis here. M1 there. Could not be further away from the eventual hatch location, so things are looking great. And what a marvellous opening performance it's been for Nemesis here. Whip there. Again, zoning them away from Shack, away from the gate, away from hatch. Things are looking good for the Nemesis fans, and one whip will end it. GG. That is a clinic. That is an absolute clinic. Cromp corner from the Sablebot denied, and Doctor has to get the 4K to salvage a point. GG. Doctor has to match 12 hooks. Can he do it on Cold Winds? We will see. Gonna get to the rough middle of the map. Send it with the Static Blast. Garner some intel. And gets 3 of the 4 survivors. Not bad. Not bad. Searching for intel. Find someone crouching by the gen. It's Hinako. Expected Sprint Burst after an opening move like that, but not Sprint Burst. Do they see what Doctor's doing here? Takes a decent line. Gotta stick with the injured party here. Gotta find a way of getting that dying state. There's gen movement here. Might pivot. Oh, it is the injured party. Still, it's Hinako who gets the Volt. Doesn't get the Volt. Hang on. That's bad. That's really bad for them. Shock. Window denied. Shane here for a hit. How utterly frustrating. That could have been it right there. That could have been it. Shock does connect. And, oh, no dying state, but they don't have the pallet. They apparently do have the pallet. No idea how they got all the way around there. Damn. Tough opening for Doc. Needed a hook. Denied in several different ways. Shane committing to a gen in Shack is something you need to keep on top of if you're Doctor here. Can't let this go away. Might lose pallet. Okay. Shack pallet gone is not bad. Gonna get Eruption. Gonna get Overcharge out there. Coming back. Shane already gets a fair bit of distance there. Oh. Takes a surprising line. Through the tile. The shock there. Another one. Denies the pallet. They got the Volt. Gonna go to the other tile. They do still get the Volt, and it will be live, and another gem pops. It's not the start he needed. For Doctor here. He had a possibility, but a body block and then a nifty play around a pallet. And he's in a tough spot. Shane's around Shack. Doctor trying to moonwalk through the window, just gets caught, and that has been something of a representation of this game so far. There's a shock again. Does connect. No pallet for Shane. Dying state for Shane. Eruption there. Hinako in the area. No chance of a pallet save, thankfully. As they are potentially blessing a totem. There's the Volt. Get in the window. Not before an injury. Another gem pops. Looking for intel. Is there anyone moving in for the save? Not immediately. Not immediately. It's just Hinako, who has Shaq, but no pallet on Shaq. They don't go window. They do go window. Just before Doctor's able to get the shock out there. Whoa. Okay, rather fortunate. A rather fortunate move. Okay. Geeky snooze the ads. I'm back in business. I'm finally able to use Pop Goes a Weasel. There was someone, yeah, who ran that way. I think Doctor anticipating they'd move to Cowtree, they'd move the other way, and they get a huge distance in doing so. Knew where she was. Just not able to open the locker in time, unfortunately. But that head-on play should lead to an injury with a well-timed shock. Yep, no pallet there. They get the vault, but not before the injury. As they've been taking some really surprising lines. As Jane here needs another shot to find the pallet. We'll get it. Really well timed there. Exactly what we needed. And the grab from the locker just makes it go by that bit quicker. Just a little bit more efficient with the hook there, which he needs every advantage he can get right now. Ooh. And discovers the healing parties over here. That's huge. That's absolutely massive. Kicking the door. Looking to get ahead of them. Shane is trying to commit to the unhook here. They did get one heal, unfortunately. Hinako is healed. Oh. And the shock doesn't quite come out in time to deny the vault. And that is so annoying because Live just takes Shane fully away. Well, you saw this a lot from Nemesis, kind of controlling the field, trying to block their path in for the unhook. That's what he's going to do right now. Oh, has a dying state here. Runs directly into a boulder. Could have been dead hard. No, actually, no hooks for this Hinako. So, dying state there. Another hook. Someone else does come in for the unhook, unfortunately. Presumably, that would be healthy Hinako. As there's Jane. Hold on a second, there's Jane. Big opportunity here. So they bring the pallet down, they won't be able to vault back, and that will be a dying state. Head on, so very unlikely to be dead hard. Could be DS very easily here, but worth testing the waters. It is not, and that will be basement. Well, this has been something of a fight back for Doc. Very nervous moment of the game here. This really could swing either way. A lot of it depends on how much gem movement is out there. Okay. Remember, Shane will be looking for a way to get Live out there. So the early shock denies that. There's the injury. He'll still get the vault. Well, he doesn't move there immediately. Now, how does Shane get Live out there? Very, very interesting question. Shock does connect. Looking for another one. Gets it. And no way that he's going to get to a window or a pallet now. Lovely. Another hook. If you're Doctor, do you try and go for basement again here? No, that would be way too ambitious. It's not quite close enough. Just out of range. I'll take this hook instead. They did get the unhook at some point previously. So there was a group heal going on, but where? Here, as Hinako brings down the pallet, vaults immediately. That would be the injury. Another survivor all the way over there, and those are where the gens are. There's Jane. Where the hell did Hinako go? Oh, Hinako stayed in the building. Bit of a misread from Doctor. Shock looking for enough one to deny the vault. Gets it. And this should be here. The dying state. There's dead hard. Okay. So there is one instance of dead hard in this lobby. Can you get the Pop Goes Weasel kick out there? Oh, I don't think so. Milliseconds in it, and then another gem pops as well. So that's a really tough situation for Doc right there. They actually commit to Shack Gem before getting the unhook, which is a good play. Okay, 2 survivors over here. Jane elsewhere could be moving a gen. Able really to take stock of the gen situation as it stands. Yep, that's exactly what happens. They get on that gen over there, and not being able to get Pop Goes the Weasel on that gen could have just condemned the Doctor to a round 1 loss. Has a lot of work to do here. The shock denies the vault. Dying state there. And if you are going to bring this game back, this is probably the one person you do want to put on hook. But the gate's already open. Is there going to be any altruism here? It seems somewhat unlikely, does it not? It seems rather unlikely. Looking for the survivors. One over here is Jane. Does not get the unhook. But now there's no reason for anyone to stay in the trial. Good play from Hinako on the pallet. And it's been a good effort from Doctor, but again, I mean, how many times do killers need to learn this lesson? You've got to get a survivor out of there. If you don't, you're going to lose. You've seen it time and time again. You've seen it with Wraith, and you've seen it here with Doc. Not that Wraith lost, but the underlying message is the same. GG. GG. On to the next. So that was 2 hooks apiece, but no kills. 8 hook performance. So Nemesis gets his first win of the tournament. Doctor suffers his first loss. As we sort the table. Nemesis on top. Dark Lord second. Freddy and Mastermind joint 3rd place. Doctor in 5th, and Unknown on the bottom there. Really awful performance in 6th place. What are we doing next? Sorry, I didn't look. Nurse versus Pig. Fascinating matchup. Nurse on Toba Landing. And an immediate survivor. Probably heads below main. Oh. Trying to do some guesswork there was Nurse, get ahead of them. Not able to do so. A lot of the questions for this tournament will be about what Nurse shows up. What form of Nurse shows up and how does she handle the group stage games. And early days here, but not quite the clinical performance she would have been looking for. Damn. Allows them to use the pallet with a misguided second blink there. Could have just got the hit after the first, to be honest with you, but maybe playing a little bit nervous right now. Certainly seems to be the case. Can she blink below? She cannot. She cannot. However, is Jen moving upstairs? Damn. Detective tap on the ball, getting away early. And the first Jen pops, the first of many if she doesn't start getting some dying states here. Oh, and here we go. Big opportunity. Injury, but Forza Arena really wanted that dying state. We'll try for it now. Looking for the second blink. Gets it. And gets a dying state. Okay. Big win for Nurse's calling there. Thanatophobia will be doing something. Talking to Nurse's Calling. Gives us some intel here. Oh, and immediately converts that into a dying state. That's huge. That is absolutely massive, and that could turn the tide of this thing. Basement there would have been great, but no joy. Looking for the blink up to the gen. Going to be a tough one to get. Yep. Okay. Around she goes. Tries it again. Gets it this time. But no one's here. Okay. Learned their lesson. They're a bit scared of this gen, and no surprises. They were both waiting for the unhooks. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Trying to get ahead of Steve here. Does so. Ugh. But not close enough for the hit. And just opportunities falling by the wayside here for Nurse. As there's self-healing going on by the hook. That is very bold, and that will be punished. And you know immediately there's no DS or anything like that. No endurance to be seen. There's your next hook. Okay, a bit of a gift. Bit of a gift, you have to say. She needed it. Slow start to proceedings here, but now someone on death hook. Keep on top of where these survivors are. Gem movement here, scratch marks trailing away. And the aura reading for Nowhere to Hide, very, very good for Nurse. The more aura reading you can get on this character, the happier you are, and that's why Nowhere to Hide is in the build there. Just not enough. I think she's very scared of over-blinking with the second blink there, so giving away situations like that. Not a bad blink there. Oh, but Steve holds W and it's enough. Waiting for the second blink. Gets it. Doesn't get it. And Steve's just gone. Might have to change tack here. Might have to change path. Might have to find a way of getting Zarina out of this one. So there is gem movement here. Who's that going to be? Someone behind the gen. Get some more reading out there. As it is Arena. Gives away a free hit. Can't do that. Big opportunity. And gets it. Takes advantage of an aggressive play from Zarina. You've got to anticipate some level of raw reading there, and it'll be 3 survivors left at 4 gens. A stunningly strong game state for Nurse after not an amazing opening set of plays. Let's get on the gen over here. Does so. So, Pop Goes Weasel on this gen, looking for aura reading. Have they learnt their lesson about Nowhere to Hide? No. Good play from Claudette. Finds a nook and promptly puts Nurse in it. Doesn't head upstairs. Keeps on moving. Ooh, briefly comes back. Good move from her. Get a grip on this chase right here, being sent this way and that. Good stuff from Claudette here. Comes back. Not a bad move from Nurse. Ugh. But not good enough to connect with the hit. Good injury there. Okay, finally makes something happen with the second blink. Gets the hit before the window vault. Claudette holds up on this pallet. Oh. Good little fake out of the spin. Swing and a miss for Nurse. Can't take much more of this. Difficult to watch. Look for the second blink. Gets it. Too short. Too short. Another gem pops. Could this be it for Nurse? Is she going to just take the 4 hooks here? There's a possibility. She's not really doing much of anything right now. A decent blink through the wall. Claudette takes a good line to counter her. shack. Oh dear. Unless. Worth a go, wasn't it? Worth a go, but Claudette just so aware. Alright, feels like the wrong chase to be taking. She's discovered that now. But has the damage already been done? Not a great situation of gens. Quick little blink over the bolt. Good hit. And that has been a repeated motif of the game. The short swing as the survivor runs headlong away, staring over their shoulder. And there it is again. And there's Steve. Good little move. Again! Playing scared, playing too cautiously, not taking that swing after the first blink. How does this work? Pretty well. Gets them to drop. Dying state. Hoping for a hook after that. And she will get it. Okay. And amazingly, a gen still has not popped. So there is hope for Nurse after what was maybe the most rancid chase in all the tournament so far. Set of chases, in fact. Quick unhook. Oh, that's just gone. Close, but not close enough. What a start. Good play from Claudette. I think, honestly, the first hook on Claudette might be a bit of a fluke for Nurse. She just seems too good. And every time that Nurse engages in a chase with her, it feels like things start going wrong immediately. Oh, and if that doesn't sum up Nurse's game right there, I don't know what does. I've never seen that before. I've never seen the pure blink through the staircase. And then just swinging at nothing, wafting the air beneath the stairs, beneath Steve's feet. You talk about visual metaphors for the game that's just been and gone, and there it is right there. Okay, no gem movement over there. Some gem movement here, and Tap in the vicinity. Nurse had a good chase with Tap earlier. Maybe expected him to be running away, but he was just setting up shop beneath the tree. And that was all he needed to do. Usually you'd be happy about the lack of gem progress, but for Nurse's game right here, it just seems like they're delaying the agony. Or prolonging, I should say. 2 blinks in the back pocket. Tap heading under main. Oh, but she's held onto a blink. She could have got the hit. She still will. And trying to get that blink up top side does. But they're playing it very safe coming off this gen early. Looking for aura reading. Doesn't find it. Does now. There goes Steve. Steve, who also has been pretty good against Nurse. Nurse's tactic might have to be purely finding Tap again, making it a 2-survivor game before a gen gets popped, right? What's he doing? What's he doing? What's Nurse doing? Movable object versus breakable force here. And this is nothing short of an agonizing watch. This might be the saddest game of Dead by Daylight ever committed to the MP4 video format. And the bad news for chat is that the ads are still 5 minutes away. Heading back upstairs. Ooh, opportunity for an injury, but of course Nurse not able to take advantage. For a hit, gets it! Maybe the best blink of the game. Can she close down the chase finally with Steve? Nope. Nope, no clue where he's gone. Finds the pallet, bolts over it, and he's out of there. You feel like if you're Nurse, you've got to take advantage of the injured party. It's not the blink that she needed. The majority of the distance completely taken away there. Steve fights another day, gets some distance. Trying to get ahead, not able to do so. Steve keeps on moving. Okay, apologies, had to do some admin. Dying state there. Steve on hook. Is there going to be any level of altruism here? There is someone behind the rock to the left. Nurse can make like she's not seen them, but of course she has. Tat takes an injury. Needs to get 1 or maybe 2 blinks ahead of him here. As he doesn't even go gate, he goes around shack. Very surprising pathing. Maybe understanding that Nurse was going to immediately pivot to the gate. And yep, Tap has made a wild decision, which actually does counter Nurse quite a bit, because now she has no idea how to handle this. Going for the blink. Heading upstairs, not able to make that happen. The scratch marks heading to this corner. There's no gate in this corner, so there's still a chance for Nurse, as long as she can find whoever was here, which is proving difficult. Yeah, they actually have a ton of distance there, so it might be all over for Nurse. It will be. Well played from Tap. Found a way of taking a surprising path that gets him out of it. GG. GG, so what's that? 7 hooks in the end. Ironworks of misery for Pig, and after one of the most wretched games of DBD we've ever seen, the Pig team will be feeling quietly confident. But 7 hooks is no foregone conclusion. There is still work to be done for Pig. Gonna go into stealth mode. Gonna try and find survivors early here. Early hat on head could really send this game in a positive direction for Pig. Is there surveillance over there? Okay, making a move. Ooh, as Ruin is gone, unfortunately. Ruin is gone. 3 survivors on this gen. What an unfortunate Ruin spawn. Right by the first gen, right by the 3 survivors. You're never going to keep that gen in play. There'll be a drop there. Getting the kick immediately. Maybe could have forced Leon around that side, but there was a pallet over there as well, so not too worried about such things. Going for the ambush here. Good move from Pig. Very clean lines. Lovely ambush, lovely misdirect, opening hat. That's what she wanted. Ruin gone very early, not a lot she can do about that. She can at least get pain res, which will keep this gen on side. Another survivor gets on the gen, which is very risky. Very risky for this tile. Looks like sprint burst, maybe. They got a lot of distance there, but Pig taking a nice line. And this will... Right, it might not be an injury, to be clear. They need to fake out the window, and they do, so it will be the injury. Heading to shack. There's your M1. No, it's not sprint burst because it's overcome. Look at them go. Fair enough. Pallet burnt immediately. Going for the blind, risky. Keeping on them reasonably well. More distance there than Pig would have hoped to have seen. This may now be pretty tough. Last minute fake out. They do vault. This will force a pallet burn. This will be good for Pig. Gonna go for the blinds again. They're not. They see this coming. They do. Oh, hang on. They hold their line there. Oh, they pivot back to the window, but their line just doesn't take them out of reach. Pig really wants his hat before the first gem pops. And gets it. Okay, so the gem probably pops, I would guess, in 3, 2, 1. Maybe not. Is pain res in play? Oh, it isn't. It isn't. What a shame. That wasn't the gen that she was considering. She was considering the other gen, which actually is still regressing with surveillance, which is great intel. So, hat's active for Leon, hat's active for Kate, and intel on the survivor. I didn't quite catch who. It's Nancy Wheeler. Away she goes. Good start this for Pig. 2 hooks already of the 7 total. There's Leon. He's moping around. Might be looking for the save here. Didn't want to take the chase. Do want to give the hat its potential for the dying state, but now going to head back to the hook. Just seeing Fung there. Remember, make your choice is in effect. Fung is exposed and could be healing. Off in this corner. There's Leon. That'll be a second hook. Very important for Pig. Even though the hat is active, you always take the second hook in such a situation. Little time spent, and if anything, it just makes the hat Mori all the more likely. Such a shame, though, not able to find out where Fung went, and that could have been a huge exposed play for Pig. Still, can't argue with results. Still a 4-gen game. 3 hooks obtained, almost halfway to that 7 hook total. Bit of movement there, not too much. There's the unhook on Leon. It was being moved, but no longer. Could be movement on that gen. What's your 3-gen if you're Pig here? What 3-gen are you hoping for? It's a great question. Leon back on the hat station. Has he given up? He's given up. Alright. Huge get for Pig there. Although if we've learned one thing from this matchup, an early kill doesn't necessarily mean a win. It's unfortunate for Leon, of course it is. Just no survivors around offering protection. No other real options for Pig to go for. So while it does feel a bit nasty, hard to see what she would have done differently in that situation. Looking for an ambush. Pretty simple there. Good injury. 4 hooks for Pig. 4 gens remaining. It's looking good. It's looking good. Good move from Nancy there, though. Oh, Pig just getting caught on the wall. Nancy sticks on this tile. Probably should force a pallet burn here. No, good play. All in on the window. They get it, do they vault back? They do. Medium vault punished. Wow. Never expected that hit to connect. In the end, a good play from Pig. A bit generous, perhaps. As a gen does pop. Just in time for the hat to be active upon the unhook. That's pretty good. And intel on the injured party, Kate Denson. 5th hook. 2 left for the draw, 3 for the win. It's Kate, the injured party, was on the gen. Runs away. Immediate drop. You want to keep him on this side. Oh, was going to kick the pallet, but might just be able to get the dying state here. Overcome means that dead hard is all but an impossibility. Oh, could have put a hat on. Could have put a hat on. How's the hook looking? Right there? Yeah, she's going to put a hat on and then get the hook. Slight bit of time lost, but in a situation like this, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Back she goes. Top work from Pig. That's the 6th hook state. 1 more for the tie. 2 more for the win. There's even more gem movement here now. There is Fung, who is still exposed, with Make Your Choice. This could be huge. If they go for the unhook, it is likely to be the trade. It will not be Vigil! Vigil, Vigil, Vigil. Vigil there. In case you didn't know. Vigil there. Got rid of Exposed. Got rid of Exposed. More quickly than Pig accounted for. It will still be a dying state here. Will still be a hat on a head. All of the hats are now out there. Big opportunity. Vigil, Vigil, Vigil. By the way, that was Vigil. Right, where now? Regression on this gen, courtesy of Surveillance. We can see that. Nancy removes the hat. Oh, and she's in sight. She's off to the races. Kate will not be wanting to go for this unhook here. So for that reason, chasing Nancy could be a good call. Oh, didn't decide to go for the mind game there. Done a lot of mind games up to this point. Just went for it. Oh, and was maybe expecting them to move away from the tile. There you go. There's the injury you need. Good stuff from Pig. Nancy yet to... Kate, sorry, yet to get the unhook. Oh, and a lovely little mind game there. A beautiful mind game as there's Kate. If Kate had made any deviation to the pallet, Pig would have been within her rights to go after her. Kate runs away, so Pig takes the hook. There's the unhook over here. Endurance hit on Fung. And sure, why not? Going after the first hook survivor in this situation, where you are just trying to deny Hatch, could be the right call. By the way, for those keeping score, Pig has emerged victorious over Nurse. She already has 8 hooks. Try and go after Kate. Won't be able to deny the unhook. Will be able to trade after the fact. No chance of a Sabo attempt here, right? No. And then there were 2. Fung Min, who ran off to Shack. Has had plenty of time to flee. Scratch marks heading this way. Nerf Pig, many will be saying it. After a performance like this, who could argue with them as the scratch marks subside? But where has Fung gone? No one to be heard, no one to be seen. It definitely is Fung you want to be finding here. You want to give yourself time after the hook to run around and deny them Hatch. If you hook Nancy here, Fung will have an almost immediate Hatch situation. Not to mention, there's still a hook stage for the taking with Fung Min. There is movement on this gen, courtesy of Surveillance. And there is Fung Min. They see, they do now. Could be dead hard. It isn't. Right, so all eyes on Nancy Wheeler. Where is she in all of this? Don't want to stray too far away from Shack if you're Pig here. Are the Pig team confident on where Hatch will spawn? Oh, it won't be an immediate issue. There's the unhook. Nancy was in position for it there. And not quite the dying state. And this is now tough for Pig. The further they get from Hatch, the more likely a Hatch escape might be. Remember, Pig has no mobility to speak of. Okay, this is good. This is good. Nancy taking Pig right back to Shaq. That's great. Bit of indecision there. Zoning them. Keeping them here. Fung on the gen. And there's your dying state. Getting the hook, heading to Shaq. Either shut the hatch or close down the chase. But definitely an earned 12 hooks. Can she seal the deal here? Where is Nancy Wheeler in all this? Hatch presumably here. It is. Okay. But then you have a gate situation, so it's still not over. Obviously, looking tricky for Nancy to make a play here, but the gates are pretty nasty on Macmillan. Oh, but there's Nancy. And it might be all over. Good move from Pig. Lovely ambush to finish it off. GG! A rather dominant victory for Pig against a lackluster effort from Nurse. Will propel her to 3 points. Nurse takes 0. Lovely stuff. So Pig makes a perfect start to her campaign. As we go to Oni versus Lich. Wow, this is going to be a very interesting battle here. Cool tunneling. Thank you. That's my favourite John Candy movie. RPD. Going to be very interesting. I don't think Oni hurts as much on RPD as kills like Billy have. Just has a bit more maneuverability with that power. It'll be fascinating. We'll see how it goes. Taking a chase of Yui. Had a decision to make there between Yui and Ace. Chooses to go after Yui. Now pivots to Airstreet, who has a pallet. Takes the injury. Pretty good as well from Oni. Keeps them away from the window behind, which is usually where you would want to be going with that pallet and with that chase. Has a better loop here, so going to pivot. Maybe to Ace Visconti briefly. Thinking about a way of getting back over to the other gen. Also trying to get as many blood orbs as possible. That early injury is so huge. That is often what Oni lacks in these matchups. The early injury and the early blood orb economy buff. Not a bad move. You saw the vision trying to get ahead of Ace there. Not quite able to do so. Ace also able to warn Yui about the presence of Oni. As they fake out window. Good play from Yui. But not really anything to go for here. Quick vault here. Not enough to counter the injury. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, you want to try and get the power out as quickly as possible. And indeed, Oni will. The power on the outside here. It might be tough for Yui to be able to get away. Gets the stun, gets the blind. Doesn't quite get the blind massive. Good play from them. Good resilience, good restraint. Just needs to find a way of, like, confirming the dying state, and that's a good move. It won't be enough, but it is a good move. There's a little bit, just a slither of the power that will be left for Oni. How is that as starts go? Not ideal. Not ideal. Had to use most of the power to bring the injured party to the dying state. However, Poco's a Weasel will be here. And a big boost on the power will be here. And the mind game. Oh, could the mind game work? If the mind game works here, that'd be so good for Oni's game, and it does! Gets them to the library. Do they get them before the pallet? It'll be really close here. Oh, there's the dying state. Huge win for the mind game yet again. And a real smattering of blood orbs down below. This could be really good for Oni right now. Loses a gen, obviously the gen that was first moving. All the way over yonder. Gets another Pop Goes the Weasel kick. Ace Visconti. Fleeing the scene. Big opportunity here for Oni. Massive opportunity here for him. As they vault. And vault again. How does this work for Oni? Really well. Really well. And he's arrived, has Oni. Bit of a shaky start to the campaign. Maybe some World Cup nerves and jitters. But what a set of plays there, and what a way to take back control of this game. Still regression on the gen over here. The heal outside is interesting, but someone does get around for the unhook. It would have been such a good situation if Oni were able to stop them from getting the unhook on airstream. There will be the power back, and he's going to send it immediately here. Let's send it immediately. Is there healing going on the hook? There is. Oh, and you were looking for more. You were looking for a double dying state there with the healthy party. Oh, and he gets it. He gets it. That is sensational. Is there going to be a pallet stun? There can't be here yet, surely. Okay. Keeping the game in front of him. Taking the hook. Could be DS. If it is DS, there's a temptation that they'll get the unhook immediately. That would be the wrong call. And it isn't DS. Okay. What a set of plays. 2 survivors now will be on death hook. So far, it really is looking like advantage Oni. Lich may well have everything to do right here. And a quick unhook. Death hook survivor here in the interrogation room. Oh, not far away. Not far away from the dying state he so richly craved. Wow, and they're committing to this pallet. Fascinating. Dropping there. Oh, it could have been dead hard, and of course it is dead hard. Great play from them. There's the power. There's the heal. Oh. And the injury there, fine. Happy to trade up here is Oni getting blood orbs. Gem pops in the middle. He's going to go power. Not able to get Yui out of the game, but still plenty to do here. Plenty of opportunities. So upstairs. Going around yonder. This is where the power can be a little bit tough in these tight corridors. However, oh, thought he was a bit closer than he was. Ambitious play. Big opportunity here. Big opportunity. Airstream dying state. Another survivor death hook. Needed that. That could have threatened to move the game away from him as Ace somehow does not take an injury. Injury there. I don't know why they're giving so much in pursuit of this. Delay dead hard. Metal Man. Okay. Hey, listen. It's a very interesting play for a Death Hook survivor to make. He does avoid the dying state. Yeah, so Metal Man does activate even if you're deep wounded. So important to remember that. Not a perk you expect to see in any capacity. Hopefully no complaints about any tunneling going on here after such a thing. Forcing them to vault the window. Gotta be important. Show the red stain come back. Good hesitation from Ace, who's still here. Gotta be find a way to vault. Does. Dying state here. And the hook. So even though it was about the best possible case scenario for Ace, it's still a very risky play. And it will lead to a 3 survivor situation. I think they're just excited to get Metal Man out there, and, you know, that's their right. They have every reason to be excited about that. Oni still should be feeling very confident about the game, how it's going, and how it might end up. Looking to find someone out of position here. There was a big heal going on. Not able to see the blood orbs associated with such a venture. Oh, scratch marks here, okay. Gotta be the killer. Not only for Bob, but also for the aura reading that it provides. As they will drop down. Here's Michaela, though, the one person who you maybe don't really want to chase here, but at this stage, any hook will do, you'd have to imagine. Nice. Did well to use the aura reading. Get on them just before the power ran out. So for any confusion, that wasn't a second bout of endurance. There is no endurance associated with a Metal of Man hit. So you can do it while you're deep wounded, you will not enter the dying state. And that's exactly what we saw there. A Scratch Marks going past the hook. They don't want to unhook right away. That makes a lot of sense. It's Yui. They cannot trade. In a 3-survivor situation, you don't mind this. Yeah, they saw that coming all day long. No drop there, though. This could be the M1 steal. Good patience from him. There's the drop. Now they're in a tough spot. They go this way. They could have had the other pallet if they went directly towards it. Now it's the injury. And now, it might be a little bit tough for them. Going power, trying to secure this thing as quickly as possible. The quicker you get the 2-survivor situation, the more likely the 4K. And tough to see how they get out of this one, right? Upstairs they go. They get a lot of distance here. Wants to go around the right-hand side of the bookcase. Not able to do so. Oh, big opportunity. But just unable to keep on top of them. They're going to go for the vault. Trying to get around them here. Not a bad move. Focusing on the typewriter room. Running through that. They'll have another pallet here. This could be really tough for Odie. Really tough for Odie now. Loses the power. And it is worth it to make it a 2-survivor game, but is Yui just going to outpace Oni enough for these last 2 gens to pop? Really tough situation now. Really tough situation. If there's anything that can be said for this chase, at least they're on the truncated version, truncated side of the map. Not a lot of areas to go, but they'll find another pallet. As Makeda comes in for a hit, Oni gladly accepts. Gladly accepts anything to get closer to that power. Big opportunity here. Got to find a way of getting him to burn the pallet, even if it's a stun. Oh, you couldn't let him run through. You couldn't let him run through. They surely drop here. They do. Go immediately. Oh. On the third. They love going on the third. Dying state here. Frames. Frames have derailed the game hugely yet again. And doesn't behave. You just love chucking in frames in the game states where you could least allow frames to be in play. Deary, deary me. Dying state there, finally, but it's a 1-gen game and things are not going Oni's way anymore. What an outrageous bit of misfortune there. It will still be the dying state opportunity with Michaela Reed. On the right-hand side. No doubt Airstream moving a gen along. And after a truly dominant start, there is a real path for the Lich here. If Airstream commits to the gen. Drop there. Big opportunity, big opportunity. Might need the power. Gonna send it. Looking for the mind game. Looking for the mind game. It's a big gambit. It's a huge gambit. It could work out in his favor. Whoa. You expect Michaela to fall for that gambit all day long. They fall for a different gambit. Got to get the hook as soon as possible. And this is where Oni is really hurt by the no slugging for the 4K rule, because in any other situation, you'd be holding onto your power. You'd be taking the chase elsewhere. Are there going to be enough blood orbs here to get the power back? Yes. Sending it immediately, but it might be all over if Esther can find a way to get that gate open. And she does. And that will be, assuming they leave immediately, a 10-hook game. They've not left immediately. Wow. Okay, scratch marks heading where? That's fascinating. What could they do here? Heading upstairs? Ooh, it's Street again, ruining the lives of these killers. Gotta get lucky. Gotta find them! Wow! He searched the right area. It's unbelievable from the Oni. And he has, against the odds, assuming he can get a hook. Assuming he can get a hook. He's going Mori. It'll be the first Mori of the tournament. He has, brilliant Mori there, secured the 12 hook stages. Oh, that wall is very aggressive. Right, Lich with everything to do here after a very clutch 4K from the Oni. Running the rope of eyes, get some really good intel over here. A couple of survivors looking for early possible hits with the skulls. Not quite getting it. Obviously, in the scrimmage games outside of the World Cup, Lich very accustomed to running enduring. Doesn't have it here, so those pallet stuns are going to just feel so arduous because of that. Not a bad bit of flight. Should be the M1. We'll have to use a mage hand, unfortunately. There it is. There is the M1. They get the pallet still, but taking the injury. Lich will have no issues with that. Just getting rid of the pallet, still getting that injury. Pretty ideal. Pretty ideal. They do crouch. There's the orb. Oh, they take a poor line there. And you feel like it should be the dying state here. Tough to make the quick vault happen. The pallet too far away. There it is. Okay. Was that a bit of an overlong chase? Possibly, but burnt a lot of pallets as well. So a big W for map management, and it will be a hook. And potentially shack gem movement? No. But this does feel like the right kind of path for Lich's patrol. Could be a chance that maybe Sable is on the gen over here, having taken the first chase elsewhere. And there is plenty of movement over here. Certainly wants to get Pop Goes the Weasel out there, get those gens regressing. There's a crouch from Sable. M1. A gen does pop. Not a lot Lich can do about that. A second gen popping is a crying shame. And you've seen time and time again how Enduring turns that into a dying state immediately. Doesn't have access to that here. Does have gem regression. Does have other things that are advantageous for him. Sable makes a good move there to just get away from the tile. Looking for the window, she'll get it. Doesn't go for it again. Keeps on moving. Looking for the pallet. Won't get it this time. Dying state. Another one just under the pallet. Is there going to be someone here for the save? Doesn't seem like it. Alright. Well, dreadfully unfortunate to suffer the 2 gens popping. But hopefully that means there's no huge gem movement anywhere else right now. Got to keep an eye on Shack here. Make like you've not seen the survivor on the right, but of course you have. Very strange play from Kate Denson there. Born of desperation, I'm sure. But Lich absolutely going to be going in on this. However, there is gen movement in Shack, and can you afford a 2-gen game at this point? Probably not. Off goes Lich. Looking for the pallet. Won't get it. Certainly needs a kick. Probably a good call. Probably a good call. Then back to the hook. This feels like the kind of game where you need to make it a 3-survivor situation as quickly as possible. That means chasing Kate. Although Kate didn't get the unhook. That was Adam. And someone on gen over here. There's Kate Denson. There's a dying state. Sable ward somewhere off over there. This is good for Lich as well. It'll be Pop Goes the Weasel near a very high pressure gem. So, good situation there. Not anticipating Lich going this way, clearly. I'm going to find a way of putting Shack Gen under some more pressure. Hoping to maybe sneak an injury if there was someone hanging around. Okay. All back there. There's the unhook. Shoulder the burden from Adam, who is now exposed. Great opportunity. Great opportunity for Lich. Flying around the hill. Sprint burst for him. Kate just out of position. Running back to the gen. Getting some huge distance there. Surprising amount of distance there. Hey, listen, very good play from Adam there, and had the capability to get away from Lich, so it doesn't give away the exposed hit after the shoulder the burden play. It will still be a dying state on Kate, just got to wait out dead hard. Okay. So it does have that death hook survivor. But, I mean, just imagine, no shoulder to the burden, it looks like a very different state of the game, doesn't it? That's big gem movement in Shack again. It's already had one Pop Goes the Weasel kick. It's never been hugely progressed. You've got to hope You gotta hope that they won't be able to finish it right here. Just one person, Sable committing. They'll go away. Oh, big opportunity here. As Lich will get aura reading. Sable's just gone. Okay. Oh, gives away an injury. Relying on the pallet. Where is she? Right there. Mei-chan right there. They're going to go for the window. They'll get it. No lithe. Oh, goes to the pallet. Okay. Looking for skulls. Looking for the skulls. Getting the skulls. The crouch. Do they get the pallet? They do. They vault. It's a dying state. Wow. So I'd say it's not a dying state. Didn't believe that would be possible. Ooh. Okay, as Kate Denson is plot twisting somewhere out there. Gets up again. Jen's still regressing. The other pressure point is over here. Okay, good job of managing the game so far from Lich. Can he keep it up? He's not looked at any of the other gens at all here. Real chance that one of those could pop while he is otherwise occupied. Scratch marks heading in for the unhook. He will give chase. They're going into Shack first. Someone else gets the unhook. As a gen pops, pallet's gone. Blinds to follow up. Gotta get the kick. Oh, and they were right there. They were right there. It was a great opportunity. They will vault. They go back. Window's gone now. And that'll be the M1. And now it will probably be all hands on deck to protect Kate Denson, who still has a blocked window here. They're going to get to this pallet. They'll get the stun, presumably. They don't get the stun. Wow. The window is available, but there's a dying state. Okay. Big opportunity. Can Lich get this hook? If you can make this a 3 survivor game, all of a sudden the House of Cards might come toppling down, and they don't get the blind. They can't find the angle, and it will be a 3 survivor game. What a game it's been so far. Quick orb out there. Get a sense of what's happening with this gen and with this team. No one in the direct line of sight. There is someone. It's Yunjin. If there's one person you can't go after, though, in this game state, probably going to be Yunjin over there. You absolutely can go after Sable Ward, and this is a huge discovery for Lich. They'll probably crouch to deny this. They do, just in time. But that will be the M1 before the pallet. Just. Pallet's gone. Picks it up, follows. Big opportunity. Oh, they have another pallet here. And again, enduring right there is a dying state. Maybe the Lich team will need to look into their build choice here and see if there's something else they could be going for. Namely, enduring. As they'll crouch, do they get the pallet with that? Oh, they do. They do. Sable is making Lich's life miserable right here. And the pallet, oh, they run through. They run through. Could be dead hard. It is a dying state. 1 gen game, assuming no save here. 2 survivor game. It's going to come right down to the wire. Remember, Lich needs the 4K. Lich cannot allow anyone to escape in any capacity. And that gen popping is a dagger to the heart. Starting the chase of Adam, however, Yunjin moving in for the gate. Is there a chance that the skulls catch him off guard? Oh, what a gift that would have been. There's the M1, though. There's the M1. Good play there. And now Adam, hugely out of position. Hugely out of position. Great opportunity. Oh, but on the gate over there, you see him with weave. And you're too far away to really do anything about it. The best play, knowing what you know, knowing that you need a 4K, the best play might be to stop them getting that gate, but it's already 2 light, soon to be 3. Can Lich do anything about this? What's the length of the skulls? Can the skull get the injury? No, and the gate's open and Adam's gone. It's a loss. God damn, what a tough game for Lich. Just so few mistakes, but what mistakes there were, capitalized upon, and then some. So GG only, a great performance. And in the end, that final discovery of Airstreet to turn a 10-hook game into a 12-hook game, all important. Because if that hadn't happened, Lich could have committed to Yunjin here, secured the kill, got the draw with the 10-hook game. But Lich just had to find a way of getting the 4K. Didn't have the time to get over to the other gate. And it's all over. A 7-hook performance in the end. Alright, 7 hooks for Lich, so suffers a loss. And maybe a bit of a surprise. Maybe back to the drawing board on that build as well. With Enduring, could that have gone differently? Possibly. Right, it'll be Sadako versus the first. Right. Gideon for Sadako here. Could be some good opportunities for spreading a lot of condemnation early. That definitely has to be part of a plan here. How much value are you going to get? Are you going to get just from hooks? You know, you need to be aware of both objectives for sure. As here's Dwight. Gets caught on the shelving unit. No pallet here. Opportunity. Perhaps finds the pallet here. Doesn't drop it. That will be the M1. That will be the M1. Chris already has a tape. Right. Go for the teleport immediately. Obviously looking to spread out Condemned. Also an outside chance that you catch Dwight sleeping. Not quite. There's enough TV here. Spreading Condemnation. Early doors to projection speed boost as well. Very important. There's the vault. Little mind game here. It doesn't quite work. Dwight holds up. Looking for the pallet. He'll get it. Doesn't drop it immediately. Does now. Bolts. No. Goes around. In fact, there's someone else here, right? There's a weird selection of scratch marks. Not entirely sure, but regardless. First hook for Sadako and an opportunity maybe for basement. Not quite as close as you might have wanted there. Play it safe, going for the hook in this room. There are painless hooks, but they're all upstairs, which is very unfortunate on this map because more often than not, just via the nature of gravity, you will be finding dying states downstairs, you see. So, yes, that's very unfortunate on the Scourge hooks. Sprint burst there for Jeff, denies a hit. Going for the teleport again, trying to get as much condemnation out there as early as possible. So television vision gets turned off over here. Teleporting downstairs might still confer some level of Condemned, perhaps. Scratch marks heading this way. This is presumably his, either Dwight, whoever got the unhook on Dwight, it'll be Chris. Looking to take a hit for Dwight. So over here, this could be a good teleport opportunity as a second gen pops. Again, movement behind. Okay. See now, this is very tough for Sadako. Not back for the pallet, no surprise there. Chem trap. If they drop down, it would have been a good opportunity for the teleport down there. They might not know the TV is there. Oh, Jeff was looking for the TV, looking to replace the tape. Not able to. A timely teleport from Sadako. Injury there. And you really just can never rule out Sadako. If the team focuses gens, if they're not as on it with a condemnation, things can snowball very, very swiftly. And there's a dying state for Jeff. Okay. But again, the pain reses are so unfortunate here. Not just that, no floods of rage information either. The misfortunes keep on piling up for Sadako here. Looking for another teleport, gets it. Has to be said, though, the team have been on it with their VHSs. With denying Sadako value from her teleports. Staying on top of the condemnation. There goes a gen. Oh, it says Claudette. Stumbling into one another there. There's the undetectability of the demanifested state coming to play in a big way. Just no televisions here either. Very unfortunate. Oh, big opportunity here. This might be the M1. It'll be really close. Bloodlust at exactly the right time there. Exactly the right time for Bloodlust. Just makes the hit achievable. But again, could you get upstairs to get to Pain Res? Maybe, but it would be very, very close. You've got to just take the hooks that you got here. What a rough set of hooks. What a rough setup for this map. So there's a fair bit of movement here. Gets caught on the doorway, the Sadako. Not been able to kick for any aura reading so far. Does there. There is Dwight. This is an opportunity. This is a huge opportunity to take advantage of this situation. Just lose it. You know, Dwight just spies Sadako before she's able to really do anything. Demanifesting to avoid the stun. And that'll be the M1. Okay, very good. Needs to do a little bit more of that for Sadako. Been holding off on the demanifestation. Goes for it again. Is Dwight going to make the same mistake? Surely not. We'll get around once more. Well played. Well played. Obviously no capability of body blocking while demanifested. Looking for the teleport. There's more gem movement over here now. And it's Jeff, okay. Looking to keep Jeff upstairs, needing to find a way of getting some value from these Scourge hooks. However, that line, well, will it be good enough? No. Nothing going her way right now. Not a huge amount of condemnation across the board. There's Dwight again, looking to get on the gen, not able to do so. Runs through, looking for a teleport again. Starko looking for more condemnation. Doesn't get it. There goes a gen. Mods, could we delete that message there that's kind of like mocking Starko's name, please? It's not on. It's not cool. If there is a mod. No worries if not. I can get to it. Just because the name isn't one that you see in your day-to-day life doesn't mean that it's suddenly a big old joke. You know what I mean? Damn. Looking for the hit there, not able to make it happen. Damn. Tough stuff here. And just lacking ways to get a foothold in this game now. Last gem pops. Just always a pallet. Another chem trap there into a blind. That's chemical traps. You're not going to get anywhere here. Just got to be finding a way to teleport. Alright, well, scratch marks to the gate. It's already 99. There's just been nothing going on here. For Sadaka, it'll be one last burn of the pallet. And unless they make a huge mistake on the line, that'll be all she wrote. GG. GG. Unless... oh, they were already out before they even hit the floor. Unbelievable. 3 hooks. Could get nothing going at any point. 3 hooks for Sadako. It's hard to even be too... scolding of her. Did what she could. Just everything was working against her there. The first on the Stromo. Again, 3 hooks to tie, 4 hooks to win. You know, it's not outside the realm's possibility that Henry will fall short here, but exceedingly unlikely. Henry appears to be in a pretty good spot if recent performances are anything to go by. Okay. We have to get attack. Got the smaller undergate for the quicker mobility there, which doesn't quite work as well as he would have liked. Going for the world breaker, expecting a little double back there, doesn't quite happen. That's an appalling miss with the M2 there. Could have had the M1, didn't go for it, and now might be paying the price. Gets World Breaker, okay. A bit more delayed than he would have liked. Good injury there on Meg. Sticking on the pallet. There's Dying State. Okay, good commitment to the M2. Not dissuaded by some early misses. And actually does have a pain res hook. Fancy that. Pain res hooks in an available location. Starko must be very, very envious right now. Okay. Back into the upside down.
Not be so easy.
There goes Grim Embrace. To briefly block the gens. Scratch marks in the area. Getting turned back the clock out there. No, it's already progressing, okay. We see pain res on that one. Good to see. There's the injury. Time for another one, perhaps. Oh, what a play from Henry. And he's already 2/3 of the way there, assuming he gets his hook. Oh, never mind. Oh, my goodness me. They couldn't quite get the torch save. They're going to go for it again, but it's all over for them. Oh, my... Okay, well, surprising that wasn't a dying state there. Still looking for the hook. Should be able to get it. Just, it would have been a little bit dangerous. And now... among the injured party is in a tough spot. Yes, so 2/3 of the way to the tie, half the way to the draw. Looking for one fine attack before World Breaker ends. Oh, and just couldn't bring out the attack in time. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it just passes, but still. Just put that ahead of them. No good there. Okay, they don't double back on that occasion. They might on the next. They do not. Gotta put it ahead of them. There it is. World Breaker is back. Looking for the dying state. Should get it here. Doesn't quite. Good play. Good play from them. There's the dying state. And there you go. At 5 gens remaining, Henry has secured the draw. And obviously is in a very good spot to turn that into a victory. There's a hook over here. The unbeat attack. There goes Meg. Scratch marks continuing. What? What? Oh. There is the injury. And there's a dying state as soon as you like. So again, assuming no funny business here. That will be a victory for Henry before a single gen has been completed. Obviously, still everything to play for with regards to hook differential, which will be all important. Yes, a very strong showing for him. No immediate intel as to where the survivors could be. Back down he goes. We're moving on that gen. Is there a gen with any kind of pressure at all here? Not there. Could be at the back of the ship, maybe. There's the unhook. Going for the first hit, not quite going to make it. Good hit there. World Breaker 1, M2 away. Do they go window? They do. All finesse. Just puts it a bit too far ahead of them. Good hit there. There's World Breaker. Aura reading. Not quite the injury. Oh, that will be. That will be. And then the dying state. He has put on an absolute clinic today. A real clinic from Henry. Now where to? There was some movement over on one of these gens. Yep, survivor right here. And it seems like they're done, right? The lesser spotted injury with the small undergate. Oh, aptly dodged there by Jake. Just connecting. Turn back the clock. Gets it. Pallet gone. There is a survivor in the vicinity. Henry doesn't really care all that much. Can I take the hook? Absolutely unbelievable work here. Just checking. Yup. And all eyes on Dwight. There's a Dwight Fairfield in this game, chat. I would not blame you for not being aware of such a thing. And that could be someone who's looking for Hatch at this point. I would not be at all surprised. If they were to be looking for Hatch, every chance that they're in a locker like this. Still worth testing the waters here. There's a couple of lockers. There's scratch marks. There's Dwight. GG. What a game from Henry. One of the more dominant displays we've seen all tournament long. And needless to say, against the 3 hooks of Starco, that will be enough. GG. What a dominant win. What a dominant performance. 12 hooks for the first. So, win for him. Loss for Sadako. Oops. Save the spreadsheet and sort the table. Pig, Oni, and First. We have another 3 joint leaders situation in Group F. They share first place. In 4th, it's Nurse. Joint 4th with Lich. And then on the bottom there, it's Sadako with the loss and only 3 hooks to her name. We will play Group G. And then I think we might just keep it at Group G. I don't know that we'll start round 2. I might. I want to do this. We'll see how we feel. And we might do some normal games once this is all done. But if we're feeling energetic and up to it, we could always continue it and go into round 2. But for now, we're starting with Billy in Group G. Billy on Gardener Joy. Not a great start for Billy. Taken out Lethal Pursuer. And I was gonna say he might lack some early pressure from that, but not a bit of it. Finds a Geralt staring at the stars. And that'll be a first hook. Wow. And then Barbecue. He might be getting back into this thing as Billy. With the aura reading. With the intel. Oh, he's just lost. He's just lost whoever was here. Damn, would have liked to have kept the momentum up and keep things moving, but misses out on a survivor. There was scratch marks heading to main. Billy going to dart back diagonally. Expect a few collisions like that on Garden of Joy. Greenville does have some very Billy denying hitboxes, if I may be so bold. Some strange circumstances here, which he'll be hoping won't hurt him too much. He says he unhook. The survivor's fleeing the scene. Geralt was kind of hanging around the hook there. Billy just taking stock of that situation. Tori Kane brings down the pallet. Billy just wants to break that. A bit of a too strong pallet for him to really contend with. Another one over here. It will be an immediate drop. Billy might be going around here. Comes back. Gets the pallet again. And Tori Kane stuck in a corner. All the way in a corner. Ooh, get some distance away. Big opportunity here. Tinkerer in play. Upstairs on the gen. Oh, just gets the injury around the corner. What a play. The issue is very unlikely to get to the upstairs gen in time to kick it. May be able to find them as they're vaulting down. Maybe that's what he's going to go for. No one immediately. Up he goes. There's the vault. There's the vault. He heard them. He's going after them. It's Geralt! Very close there. And Billy actually going to change tactic. Head to the Tinkerer gen. As we were saying, obstacles all over the place here. There's Fung Min. Big pop goes a weasel kick for him there. That puck will be very important for Billy. As finesse is denied. Good M1. Fung sticking on the tile. Has the pallet. Oh, it's an annoying length of wall here for Billy. However, Fung may have given away something here. Oh, it'll be desperately close. Desperately close! Just gets the M1. Good choice of lunge there from Billy. Looking to avoid a pallet stun. Get his third hook at a reasonably early stage. And he does. No other Tinkerer yet. 2 survivors over there. 1 fleeing the scene. He's on them. He's on their tail. He sees them. Ooh. Is that Tory Kane again? It was. Just staying away. And pivoting back to the gen. Big movement there. There's Rick Grimes. Looking for at least a pallet. Gets it. Could get more here. Could get more besides. Gets the dying state. And still time to come back to the gen for pop. Amazing work from Billy. What a start it's been for the lad. What's this Tinkerer? He's caught in 2 mines there. He's going to take the hook. And again, try and get back to that gem. But there may just not be enough time here. Again, maybe hoping to get dying state after the gem pops. But holding on to the gem seems unlikely. And there it goes. Geralt up ahead. Everyone injured now, so doesn't have to go chainsaw in some of these situations, does Billy? Running headlong to kill a shack is Geralt. Fakes out window. Good play from him. Good play from him. Mind games around the corner. Hides in the red stain. Feel like he has to drop pallet here. Doesn't go to the window. No lithe. Oh, it could be dead hard. Oh, not even needed. Not even needed there from Geralt. Gotta be a drop at that point. Doesn't vault. Again, could still be dead hard here. Could very easily still be dead hard here. There it is. Good patience from Billy. Knew it was on the table. 1 hook apiece up to this point. Needed to find a way of getting someone to. Second hook stage does, but loses that other gem. No Tinkerer out there right now. But big, big, big opportunity here. Oh, not quite able to close down the chase with Fung. Oh. But nowhere to go for her. Dying state. Another kick of the gen. Fung doesn't like it. That'll be another hook. See what we're reading. On the gen over yonder. Can Billy find a way of getting over there? Does so. Tory Kane has to burn the pallet. They wouldn't have wanted to do that. Didn't anticipate how good of a line Billy was taking. And now 1 dead hard. Was that dead hard? There was some kind of animation there. It looked very, very brief. It may have been dead hard. It was dead hard. Wow. Something about it looked weird, but no matter. Again, countered by Billy, who will not be dead-harded today, it seems. And back he goes to the hook, looking to cut them off here. Rick Grimes! What a curve! What a curve from Billy! Rick Grimes has no answer. All eyes on Geralt. Can he get the save here? Can he bring the game back? The entire game rests on his shoulders now. Another hook. There's Geralt. There's the unhook. Is Fung done? Fung appears to be done. Dead hard not in play here. They do have actually a lot of speed, don't they? Oh, should have swung far sooner. Should have swung far sooner. They may have given away the dying state if he had. Okay. Well, he had an opportunity to close this game down fully there. Does Billy not taking it? You really don't want to let Fung get the trade here, if you can help it. And he doesn't. Very, very important. They go for the unhook. That means no DS in play. Alright, so it could have been all over right there. It isn't. Billy has left the door ever so slightly ajar, but things are still looking very, very good. He sees the heel. Tori moving to the gen. Geralt on the right-hand side. Not quite able to get the hit there. Very close. This may be good for Billy here. Staying on Geralt. Forcing Tori to go in for the unhook. It's a horrible window here. Just sees Tori pivoting. Not quite able to get past the fence, alas. As Geralt moves in on the left-hand side. Gonna make like he's going after Tori, then come back immediately. Death on the hook. There's Geralt. He stops, he stares. Ooh, he evades. He evades. Remember, of course, Hatch is very important in these matchups. Shack Hatch offering is in play. There's Enduring. Geralt has a little bit of a stare, then runs away. Could be the M1 here. Will be the M1 here. Geralt flees to the window. Medium Volt, dying state. Okay, all eyes on Tori Kane now. Is there wiggling from Geralt? There is. Ideally, there isn't. Ideally, one is to take Geralt over to Shack, over to where Hatch is going to spawn. Billy is able to. Tori Kane here as well. Waiting for Hatch similarly. Flees the scene. There she is, but he just wants to make sure there's no chance at all of Hatch. Ooh. Actually misread the situation there. Hatch spawns inside Shack on this match. No matter. Wants to get immediately back to where Tori Kane was fleeing. It was a risk prevention strategy there from Billy. Could have just taken a chase of Tori, but who knows if they pull out an incredible loop. They could have got back to Shack. Has lost them. So now has to get back on the gates. And he also has a great deal of gate denial in his tool set here, which he'll be hoping to use. Obviously can't take too many bumps like that one there. Keeping a watchful eye over that panel, coming back. Oh my god, one light there already. Pretty incredible work from Tori Kane, but Billy is back in time. Okay. And if you're Billy now, no reason to do anything but chase, wait for the endgame timer to pass, and secure that kill. That will count as a hook stage for the benefit of doubt. Oh, looking for the eruption play. Not quite able to make it happen. The double hit over the pallet. Nonetheless, handled the pallet well. One more vote for Tori. That should be it for her. And either via hook or via entity, it will be the 4K here for Billy. And it will make it a hook. Just in time. GG. There you go. What a performance. What a performance in our opening matchup. Billy versus Myers. Everything to do for Michael Myers. Larry's for Myers. Not a bad map. Not a bad map. And didn't bring the Hatch offering, but it wouldn't have done anything anyway on Larry's, so dodged a bullet there. Myers on Larry's. Obviously, we'll want to be making good use of stealth here. A great map for it. Hoping for intel here. Wants to stay in these rooms. Wants to deny line of sight as much as possible. Remember, the full 12 hooks required for him. It's going to be a tall order. There's Sable. Oh, just sees him before getting on the gen. That should be Evil Within. It will be. Evil Incarnate. Apologies. Different game series. And there it is. Big opportunity here for Michael. Be looking for an early dying state with that dash. Is he close enough? He seems to be. He has forgotten how his tool set works. You would think that it was the previous World Cup where his power set got changed mid-tournament. No, he's had almost a year to work out his craft on this one. And he whiffs there. Horrible start for Michael. Sable doing great work here. Has to commit to the M1 and then leaves. Deary, deary me. Gets the kick on the gen. Looking for someone else. Loses the gen. Yeah, you get the feeling of that mistake. You get the feeling his head's just not in the game with that mental mistake there, in addition to the team not bringing the correct offering. Not the kind of start you expect from a long-time competitor like Michael Myers, as Jennifer just blocking for long enough to help out Sable. Sable flees the scene. Michael trying to mind game around them, not able to do so. Needs that Evil Incarnate back if he's going to have this game anything approaching winnable. And back to Sable here again, looking for his power. Not that he did much of it the first time. Another gem pops. This is looking really bad for Michael. This is nightmare stuff for him and for his team. Gets Evil Incarnate. Gets the Vault. Okay, basically gets a mulligan. Oof. And he's been slammed in the face with a pallet. Oh, Sable even able to pick up a medkit mid-chase. That's the level of respect that she has for Michael, and you have to say, seems earned with how poorly he's been playing. Nothing going right for him right now. Lost them there immediately. No idea how they got away. He has to go elsewhere, but there's no one to be found. A Vault over here, they're toying with him now. What on earth is going on? Already cheers in the Billy camp, and why not? Why not? They're looking at a famous early round victory here. Another whiff. Unbelievable from Maria to not burn that pallet. They do now. Michael really going for something. Oh my god, an unforced error from Maria. Maybe thinking the power had gone, and he finally gets himself a hook. But what a disastrous beginning to the game it's been. Nato not scared at all, committing to the gen. It'll be a dying state. What are they doing now? Sable going to try and get back on the gen, but it will be painless. The gen won't pop. What is this all about? You talk about playing down to the survivors, to the killer's level. That's what's happened there. However, it was conviction, so that's probably why they were so happy to stay at dying state. But nonetheless, what a strange situation there. And again, no gem movements at all. Sable now giving away a dying state, giving Michael another pain res. Things may have just turned in his direction. Unbelievable turn of events. Loses a gem. As there is a plot twist survivor, and there are scratch marks heading this way, and that will be Maria. Okay. That'll be Hanato plot twisting in the dying state. Oh, Michael trying to use the dash aggressively around the cubicles. Not able to make that happen. Good line taken here from Maria. There's nothing you can do. Down goes the pallet. Oh, Maria flees the scene. This could be big for Mikey. Oh, and the dash is good, but it isn't that good. Pursuer mode, just to close this thing down, hoping for no dead hard. There's the dying state. Well, I don't know whether you'd call these consolation hooks or something more, but you know what? Sable takes another hit. Injury for Hanato. They really do not need to be giving this much away here. And the fact that they are continues to play into Michael's hands. It really does seem like this team has severely underestimated who they're up against. You can understand why, based on how the game's gone so far, but my god. My god, the Billy camp will be begging them to start locking in here. As it stands, obviously it does work out. They do find the hook. Every possibility it could be decisive strike for Sable. Probably won't be enough time left for it, even if it were. Let's have a look. No, no such thing. Okay. Up on the hook they go. Well, to be honest, does Michael even really need... Does he even really need Evil Incarnate at this point? Does have a couple of injured parties. Might just now be going pursuer mode. There goes Maria up ahead. Yennefer heads upstairs. Could leave Hanato going for the unhook, maybe. Michael hoping for the premature vault there. Doesn't happen. Needs to get this gem regressing. Ah, there's another gem pops over there. That makes a lot of sense. Every chance that they're going to move in for the unhook now. Michael going to try and cut ahead of them. The degree to which they're body blocking the hook, there's every chance they are in a team together. There's Hanato. There's Evil Incarnate. He sends it. Hanato going to run through. Looks for the pallet burn. Gets it. Very, very bold maneuver there to slow vault over the pallet. Countered by Michael. Very important pain res. Again, little by little. This Survivor team are just opening the door for the shape. Gets rid of that pallet that could be troublesome after the unhook and heads back to the gen. The one pressure point has been this one. It remains to be the case. My god, that has moved a great deal in spite of pain res there. Gotta kick it. And then looking for a dying state here. Is there Sable? Getting Sable out of this game could be huge. What's she doing? What on earth is she doing? As it will be the hook. And a free injury to boot. A dying state there. It will still be the hook. And there will be a makeable pain res for Michael now. I mean, if it does happen, it will be the least earned 4K of all time, but he won't care. Can he make it to the pain res hook before they get this gen? Yes, there's not as much progress as he maybe feared. There's the pain res. There's the pain res. There's Hanato. Again, needing that Evil Incarnate. Needing it very, very swiftly. Gets back. There's the unhook. Hanato probably calling out that Michael's heading back that way. Oh my god, but not calling it out well enough. Trying to wait out endurance here. They have the pallet. Last stand, presumably. That explains the vault we were seeing before. Looking to save their friend with it. Good line taken from Yennefer. Should still be the dying state here. Could be dead hard very easily. Presumably DS if you're going for the lock like that. It is, okay. So it's big gem movement here. Dying state there. Again, just doing enough to keep this gen on side. Getting a hook on Hanato, or at least that was the hope, but Maria there with the blind. What a shame. What a shame as Yennefer is trying to get back on this gen. Maria's around this gen as well. How'd you play this if you're Mikey? You don't want to give that gen away, of course, but you need a hook here. Yennefer taking it away, Michael coming back. Could be a heal going on between Hanato and Maria. Someone was going the other way there. Michael just fooled by the scratch marks. So, maybe not one of the most exciting games of the tournament. One of the stranger games of the tournament. for sure. Scratch marks are here, and then they're gone, and that's why. What is going on? What on earth are they doing? It's another hook. It's another hook. Gonna just check on the gen over here to make sure this isn't moving. It is moving, and then some. Yennefer's here. Injured party looking to get that gen finalized. Not able to do so. Looking for the window. She'll get it. It's back in smooth and quick fashion. No pallet there. Oh. And looking to deny the slug again with the locker play. It works out. And they are able to get that middle gen. But Michael still has a chance here. Michael still has a very, very good chance. Certainly a far better chance than he did 10 minutes ago. As that's Maria picking the torch, wants the aggro. Michael still might be in a position to take them up on that offer. However, injured party noises over here. Hanato looking for the gate, looking for the unhook, pivots away. Gets a god pallet, drops it immediately. And that's Maria to very quickly going for the unhook. What a duality this team has been. Made some incredibly strange decisions, but you've got to say they've kept Michael occupied for great deals of time, got their distance, good loops, and they've made unhooks when they had to. Looking to find them, looking to deny the reset, the heal. Just nothing happening. Nothing going his way now. And it might be all over. Presumably someone's found the time to get on this gate over here. Yeah, there it goes. GG. GG. He had everything to do and had just an appalling start. And not quite able to bring it back, despite the team's best efforts. GG. Then Maria is somewhere around here. Might be getting the other gate, might be waiting for Hatch. Oh, here they are. Well, it'll be a consolation hook from Michael. And every hook is very important for differential matters. As we're working at the first, second, and third places. So, he'll be glad of it, but it is a loss. 9 hooks to his name. Billy gets his first win of the tournament. Maya's his first loss. There. Legion versus Demogorgon. Right, Legion on Decimated Borgo. A matchup against Demogorgon here. A matchup that's going to be tough. Demo really does perform in these tournaments. Legion goes for a very early frenzy there. Doesn't get anything from it. Might have been a bit of a mistake to go that early. Heading over to the Discordance gen. And now has to wait for the frenzy to come back. Might take an opportunity to kick. Only one set of scratch marks running away. There could be someone who was maybe hiding in this tile. Worth a look, as there is Cheryl, and here's your chase. And they're not going to burn the pallet on the first go. And it will be the first hit here. Good stuff. Killer Instinct off by main. Only sees a couple of survivors here. Hit there. They bring the pallet down. Another hit. Where's that fourth survivor? Vittorio ties this thing all together. He's over here. Can Legion chain together the 4 hits? Gets the pallet and hit there. It'll be the dying state if Legion can do it. And it's looking good. Overcome, but that doesn't matter. It's a dying state. Absolutely absurd work from Legion. Is BFFs bugged? The immediate thing I did was look down at BFFs because those number of chain hits would have been a great deal. A great deal of tokens there, but it's still at 0. So BFFs may be bugged. Now, whether that actually does still come into effect remains to be seen. Regardless, what a start for Legion. There's fun. Early Volt. Live there. They take a strange line with it. Now they've got a 50-50 call to make here on the pallet. They don't go for it. Now be a dying state. Unbelievable. It's been bugged for months. Great. Anyway. Legion looking for a second pain res here to keep this a 5-gen game. Fails. Fails. It does still accrue tokens. Okay, good news there. Well, Legion should be... I'll try and do some mental arithmetic now, but if not already at the BFF's marker, pretty close to it. If you don't know, BFF's is a token-based perk. You accumulate tokens based on chain hits in Frenzy. If you get enough, you get a permanent haste bonus in the endgame, which pairs very well with No Way Out. That's what they're hoping for, and honestly, should have done enough to make that happen there, you'd have to say. Brings Pallet down. Goes around. Dying State. What a situation this is becoming for Legion, who has maybe not underperformed at these tournaments up to this point, but never been a real deep playoff contender. Could 2026 be their year? We will see. There's the Unhook, just checking on the gen over there. Gonna do some patrolling with the Frenzy. Sees a little bit of movement here. Could this be Vittorio, perhaps? Not 100% sure. Can't see anyone around. Maybe they moved in for the Unhook over there. Legion maintaining their patrol. There's another Unhook off to the left. The one thing you might want to avoid here if you're Legion is having that game state that has plagued so many of our killers where everyone's on first hook. You're playing very fairly, but the game still moves away from you. Alas, Legion's doing exactly the thing that will allow that to happen in chasing Lara here. Looking for the hit, gets it. Going for the chain hits now. Get the mending, get the game stalled out. Lots to like here for Legion. There's another hit. Looking for Cheryl. Finds her. It'll be another hit here. Where's Vittorio again? Once again, it all comes back to Vittorio, who is back on this gen. Can Legion get there? Vittorio's going to pre-run away, and there's no chance. Lunging for distance. Vittorio's out of there. Good news is the rest of the team have to mend, so they can't be moving the gens immediately. Vittorio says no to the pallet there. Instead goes for a much worse pallet, drops it, vaults it immediately, and that'll be a dying state. Could have been dead hard. Needs to be maybe a little bit more cautious. A little bit more cautious on some of those swings. Just as they see a Discordance gen. It had a lot of progress. Can Legion get over there in time? No. What a shame. Loses that gen. No scratch marks either. Fascinating. And another gen pops. Bad passenger play this for Legion. Aha! But is able to find Funk, who might be trying to move in for the save. Will be unable to do so. Keeps on running. Will be looking for live from the pallet. There's the Unhook. There's the vault. That will be live. Ah, what a shame. Legion just couldn't quite zone them away in the way they needed to. Oh, taking a slightly wide line. Gets the dying state. Good stuff there. Unfortunately, the two people that Legion's found have both already had their pain res tokens used, so this will be no gem regression from this hook. But it is another survivor on death hook. That is important. Just listening for movement upstairs. There is movement upstairs. All play from Lara. Vaults immediately. Legion goes Frenzy. Looking for intel. Gets it. Gets the pallet as well. No, they don't burn it. Good play from them. Comes back. What a shame. Cheryl just pre-runs and gets a lot of distance there as well. Will this now be Lara moving in for the Unhook? Is the question. Someone's got to do it. Who will that person be? Such a shame that Legion couldn't find a way of getting them to bring that pallet down. That would have made their job much more simple. Around main, as there's Lara. Sprint burst likely. There it goes. It's a bit of an odd line with it. Just looking to see if Cheryl is moving in, as Lara just gets more distance. Okay. Playing a kind of conservative game now as Legion really wants to secure this kill on hook. Ah, but they will just get the Unhook. It will be a trade, and it will be pain res. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's this? What on earth is this now? Legion only has to wait 15 seconds. This is not off the record. It could be DS. It's very likely to be DS. But DS, you can just wait out. But make sure you pick up Cheryl. You do. And it's very simple for Legion here. Take that hook. Slug until DS has passed, and I think that's a huge mistake from this team. A mistake that Legion desperately needed, because the gens started to move, and the game's starting to move away from them. Pushing them away from the gen. Really needing some intel here on where Vittorio might be. What a shame not getting that hit. Needs to get the gem progressing. Does. Moving back to the hook. A minute should have passed by now. It's a Legion. Risk-free pickup. To the hook all the way over here. What a strange decision. What a weird play. Something of a theme of these games is survivors throwing and just handing the game back to the killer. You saw it right there. Final gem pop, sprint bus to get away. That is a shame. No way out on the right. That's Vittorio. Vittorio just looking to get the escape immediately there. That's why no way out is in this game. That does mean that very unlikely to be getting the unhook. I don't think Vittorio can even make up that distance now. The good news with getting the dying state on Lara is that you don't have an immediate hatch game, as they're going to go for the window and they don't get it. So hook here, and then all eyes on Vittorio. By the way, BFS is active. That's 6% haste. That is permanent. Permanent for Legion here. That will help in an endgame scenario, a gate scenario like you would imagine you're going to be seeing right now. So, Vittorio taps the gate. Can't open it. No way out. Might be beginning to move this gate. Every chance he does go for the unhook, he might not just be trying to get his own escape here. Good gates for Legion too. The gates are not always this good on Borgo. As Lara's giving up in basement, that might give Legion some inkling as to the kind of game that Vittorio is playing. And there's a light. And sincerely, the 6% movement speed, all important here. 2 lights, it won't be enough. There's the heal, there's the frenzy, there's the hit. Vittorio might now be trying to get this unhook. Brings down the pallet to no end. Dying state. GG. What a clinic from Legion. Very, very good stuff. Abetted by some odd plays by the survivors, but take nothing away. That is a strong performance. 12 hooks. GG. GG. What a weird set of plays. Very, very peculiar. Was it DS on Fun? Very likely. Very likely. Cheryl's not happy. You can understand why. It was not decisive strike on Feng Min. And obviously Cheryl got the unhook there, so you can understand even more keenly why they're annoyed. What on earth was that all about? Absolutely fascinating. Alright. Here we go. Needs a 4K, needs 12 hooks. Can Demogorgon do it on Badham? Talk about, can you do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke? Can you do it on a cold Monday morning in Badham? That's what Demo has to do here. Not the map they would have wanted, the Demogorgon team. Looking for some early portals out there. Could be a decent spot, roughly here. Looking ahead to possible 3 gens. Might be a good chance of it around this house. There's also this gen over here. Seems pretty good. There is already gen movement here, unfortunately. Taking an early chase, this Demo. Holding the red stain there just for a moment. They might have held their check spot there. Might allow the shred around the corner here. No, early vault. Good play from them. and just seem to be quite confident with their shack lines. How much time will Demogorgon devote to this? Quite a bit more now that Dwight's confirmed in the area. No pallet burn, should be the M1. It will be. Pallet gone. Turn in the corner. And again, like we were saying, Demo really likes this area, really likes the 3-gen that presents itself here. And if Dwight just keeps on holding W, this could be a good situation. Brings it back. Gets the window, looking for the pallet again. Won't be able to get there. There's the shred, but gets back to shack. Possibly. Maybe heads elsewhere entirely. Does indeed. Okay. Could be gem movement down here. He starts setting up some more portals as well, Demo. Embroiled in a couple of maybe overlong chases right now as James Sunderland gets that gem. What a shame. The shred there connects. Demo pivoting around. Maybe going to try and meet James upstairs. Could there be something to this for Demo? There absolutely is. What a play. Loses a gen, loses 2. That's tough, and that's one of the 3 gen that Demo is thinking about holding on to. So unfortunate there, but does finally get the first hook. Oh, loses the 3rd gen. It's a 1 by Shaq. Not quite able to hold on to that. What a tough opening for Demo. And a couple of overlong chases for sure, but that is a ridiculous amount of pressure and a ridiculous amount of gens to see pop that early. What a shame. What a shame. And really nothing of a 3-gen to speak of now, unless you include the gen down here, which you may. And we're just going to try and put some pressure on the unhook. Away he goes. Bit of unstectability here. Sees Lara up ahead. I'll get the window. Shred on the door, using the add-on for the quicker recovery. And takes the pallet. Needs to get back downstairs, needs to get this gen under some control. Says Lara. No movement here yet. He'll, Demo will still want to pop a portal down. Does so here. Likely to be spotted, but always a chance that a survivor isn't paying attention to that room as they approach the gen downstairs. That could still have some value. Gen movement here, it's Dwight. Demo might be thinking about ways of getting Dwight out of this game. There's, I mean, obviously the only person with any hooks. No, actually, James. James has the hook, of course. Misremembering. My fault, misremembering the game there. I'm going to try and catch someone unawares on the downstairs gen. Needs to start taking people by surprise. Needs to start utilising the portals for the mobility a little bit more. So there's no movement there. Using unstectability, what remnants of it remain. Oh my god, but loses the gen. And it might just be a case of bad luck for the Demo here, as he has run into an awful map and a very, very powerful team. There's Dwight following, potentially for a torch save. Demo going to try something. Going to try a teleport, try and cut ahead of Lara. Could this work out? Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, good work from Demo. As Lara potentially trying to get a boom set up. No basement here, which is a real shame. But Demo can make it to another Painrose hook. And, you know, it just keeps Demo in the game. For however long that remains. As there go the portals. Painrose hits this gen over here. Is there someone hanging around? Doesn't look like it. Not that Demo can see. Another quick unhook there. Going to teleport all the way to the other side of the map, come back with the unstectability. We've seen some outrageous comebacks before. This really might take the biscuit if Demo were able to bring this game back. Has unstectability! Just spies Nia Coulson. But unfortunately, uses sprint burst to get away. The shred does connect, does get the injury. Good stuff there. I'm going to just fake out the move around the right-hand side. Coming back through the left. Trying to get ahead of them. Great mind game from Demo. Surge on that gen. Pain res on that gen. That's exactly what Demo needed. And could this be the start of an inspirational, unbelievable comeback for Demo? Needs to get an injury on Dwight here. Can't let Dwight just stick on the gen. Could be the M1 in play here. It will be. And the pallet's gone. Gets rid of it. Back downstairs. little bit disoriented coming out of the portal. Is there a heal on hook going on? There is not. There is not. Right back to the gen. Looking for Dwight, who is playing an aggressive game. Oh, but Nia's there as well. Playing even more aggressively as Nia. Needs Surge. Needs Surge because Dwight will be back on that gen pronto. Really needs Surge out there. Needs the M1. They'll get the pallets. They drop it immediately. They don't. Oh, the Shred won't get Surge, but it might be the only option here. There's Lara. M1 on Lara. But needs to come back to the gen now, which will be moving a great deal, and it's Pops. He's just not been given a chance here. Just inordinate amounts of pressure from this team, and this is what can happen on a map like this against a team like this. Dwight having a very burst of speed there. I don't know where that came from. Looking for the window. Doesn't get it. Great Shred. No way out in play. So the gate's already been tapped. This team are doing everything all at once. And it's certainly an Oscar-winning performance from them so far. Dwight hanging around the hook. Heading to the gate. Dwight does not know about No Way Out, so might be hoping for an open gate. Will not have anything of the sort. It all depends on how altruistic they are. We've seen it before. Comebacks because the team just can't let one person go. They want the full 4E. That could work in Demo's favour. As Dwight just keeps on running. As Nia and Lara are healed up. No Way Out has passed. Someone will be getting the gate. Someone else will be getting on the unhook. Forcing Lara away from the gate. All the while, Dwight gets on the other gate over there. Demo needs to do something a little bit unpredictable here. Is there enough time to catch Dwight out on this gate? They got rid of that portal, so probably just too far away. Okay, no gate movement over there. That's good news. We'll just have the portal back in time to put more pressure on this gate. No one here either. Fascinating. Fascinating. Really should have put a portal down a little bit closer to the gate there, perhaps. Is there sprint burst? Still be the Shred. Dwight may have made a mistake here. No way that the gate is already 99 or open, right? It's moving, but not enough. Very happy to accrue another injury. James taking hits now really much implies that the other gate is 99. Needs a dying state here. Desperately needs a dying state. Try and fake out the Shred. They're not going to be able to get the pallet. Oh, they just hold on for too long. Okay. So you've got a dying state survivor. The gate also opens. Shred doesn't quite connect. Damn shame there. Really would have loved another injury. Going for it again. Doesn't quite get it. Didn't hold it for long enough on that time. Had the range, but didn't hold it. Didn't charge it long enough. Looking for a hit here. Doesn't get it. Pallet's gone. It will be a CJ. It'll be another attempt at a CJ. Okay. Pallet's gone. Lara's still up. Making the move towards the gate. Nia Coulson in play as well. Looking for the hook. Looking for the hook here. As it stands, you've got two injured parties. You don't want to give away the chance for them to reset and heal before you get this hook, because that makes it so much more doable. It'll be a nicely distant hook from the gates. Eyes on Lara over there. They really do need a reset. Demo's going to be a little bit risky with it. Teleporting. Needs to play a little bit aggressively. Maybe catch them out if they're healing anywhere. As there are scratch marks leading to this gate. All that does is let them get the unhook, and now they should have the opportunity to get to the other gate. Oh, there's James. Hang on. Hang on just a second. 15 seconds is all Dwight has. Will it be enough? Probably gonna be enough. It's enough. It's enough. GG. Well, a valiant effort, but you get put on Adam. You get a team like that, and it just feels so unfortunate for Demo. GG. How many hooks was that? 5. Damn shame. So, Legion gets a win. Demo the loss. A 12-5 victory. Alright, last game of round 1 coming up. Artist versus Cannibal. Back to the Garden of Joy for the Artist here. A very strong killer who has not really lived up to the hype. in previous tournaments. We'll be hoping to have a strong start here against Cannibal and find someone immediately. 2 people, in fact. Someone heads upstairs. So, Art is actually going to pivot to the upstairs survivor. Look for an injury here, perhaps. Doesn't get it. Does get the flock. Does get the flock. That's pretty good. Although, issue being there is plenty of elevation here to deny the crow. Oh, just misses. Killer instinct here. Gutting for the artist. Would have loved the early injury. The scratch marks leading from the house, potentially to this gen. There's Shane. And putting the crow ahead. Shane looking to dodge. Should be giving away the M1 here. And gets hit by the crows. That's huge. Absolutely massive for Artist there. And, oh, just barely missing. Not a great decision from Artist. Just gave Shane the opportunity to flee the path. Oh. And you thought maybe Shane was going to fake out the pallet there. Doesn't. Brings it down at exactly the right moment. Great play. Direct hit. Not a direct hit there, but the crows connect. They do vault. Do they get this pallet? Yes. Doesn't burn. That is ridiculous from Shane. This should be the dying state, however. Wow. Not burning the pallet there is outrageous. Right, sending the crow just so the cooldown's back after the hook. And it will be pain res, hopefully, for the artist before a gen pops. Indeed it will be. No discordance yet. Discordance a really key part of the artist's arsenal here, keeping an eye on which gens are most aggressively being moved. Chance for a crow hit here. No, they just repel in time. Okay, coming back just as you lose line of sight, trying to catch them out in the house. That's exactly what happens. As a gen pops, what a shame. Injury, at least, for fun. Big movement on this gen. Gotta get that progressing. She will, okay. Ooh. She just spies Fung running the opposite way from main. Fung who wants nothing to do with that crow over there. Arsis sends it to get the cooldown moving again. Scratch marks kind of threw her off right there. Oh, just a mess of scratch marks, but no idea of where Fung's gone. Another gen. Crow. Doesn't connect. Good line from Fung. Oof. Nervous faces in the artist entourage right now. Crow goes wayward again. Good line from Fung. Looking for a mind game. Oh my god. Mind game to self. As there's a crow back on the middle gen. Discordance there. A couple of crows, but they still get it. Things are going from bad to worse from artists, but a big opportunity here. Looking for at least an injury. Doesn't get anything. A couple of people went upstairs. Lara just evaded. Oh my god, from the top rope comes Jane Romero. That could be a huge gift for an artist here. Trying to put a crow ahead of them, but the cooldown is not there for her. What a nightmare this is turning out for the artist. Crow connects. Really important intel on Jane there. And now, big opportunity for a dying state and maybe an injury as well. No, Jane just able to repel in time. As there's discordance on the gen over there, so the other 2 survivors moving that along. There's the drop, there's the vault back. That's a huge mistake there. And artist really needs pain res. And she should get it even with that hit. She does. Just keeps the gen stalled out for a little bit. She needs Grim as well. She should be getting that too. There it goes. Crow doesn't quite connect. But we'll certainly be heading over here because you know Fung is over here. The injured party, as is Shane. Desperately searching for a way for a crow to connect. As Shane brings out another pallet. Fung Min on the right hand side. And Fung has just found a way to be evasive. This cooldown, so nasty for the artist, and smooth moves from Fung. Proving elusive yet again. Crow set up, sending it immediately. It won't connect. Fung's too good for that. Oh, but found in no man's land. Not a tile to be used, and that will be the dying state. It will be a pain res hook. 3 of those stacks used at this point. Needs every single one of them because the gens have been flying. Slava's going for the flying from way too far away. needs to get back on this gen. Grim Embrace, you need that to be in play before the last gen pops. That 4 stacks of Grim could be what swings this game back in Artist's favour. Has someone got in the locker here? Iron Maiden says an exposed party. Could be Jane, more likely to be Lara in this situation, who appears to be trying to aggressively take aggro. It's Jane! It was Jane! Massive exposed hit. For no reason there, no real idea of what they were going for. It's a massive play. Gets Artist another hook. And maybe she's bringing this game back after what has been a very slow start, especially by her standards. No gem movement off in the far corner. That won't be the case forever. That crow way too high to connect with anyone. Oh, and there goes the gem. They just dodged the crow preemptively, hoping to connect as they flee the scene. Doesn't. Unhook over there. They're going to stay under the hook for the heal. Going to give that a go. Doesn't connect. Doesn't connect. Shane's gone. You really need Lara here. You really need to find a way of getting Grim Embrace out there. But these crows are just not landing true in the way that she really needs them to. Keeping pressure on this gen once again. Oh, the crow just goes up. Still no connection there. There is movement. Presumably the vault. No, they were going... I'm not sure which way they were going. There's the score. It's okay. The crows actually won't connect again. They do. But it's not Lara. Lara's around main. This still might be important here for Artist to hit on Shane. Any chance of a dying state here? No. Got rid of the crows anyway. And doesn't Grim Embrace just feel like the key, the key to the lock here, the solution to the puzzles? It's fun moving the gen. Lara nowhere to be seen. They were so happy to take aggro earlier. Now no sight or sound of them. Looking for a hit on Shane. Probably won't connect. Oh, but does connect with Jane. Everyone but Lara. You'd expect this to be the opposite situation. Opportunity here for a dying for an injury. Doesn't connect. Threads the needle. Jane's away. Needs to get back on these gens. Where the hell is Lara? They obviously know about Grim Embrace. They're really countering it. As there is Shane on this gen. Big opportunity here. Big opportunity. Dying state here would be huge. Big gem movement there. It is a dying state on Shane. That could be absolutely massive as Lara vaults immediately. Vaults back. Injury. Not even going to worry about kicking the gen here. Just needs to find a way of blocking them all for 40 seconds. 40 seconds, which could really swing this game back. 40 seconds, which could be absolutely pivotal. Lara crowed on a tiny pallet loop. This is bread and butter for Artist, but she's been playing a very poor game so far. Gets a dying state, needs the hook immediately, needs to get away from the hook before the final gen pops, needs pain res as well. Oh, she's going to risk heading all the way over here for a pain res hook. There could be the argument that she should have instead gone for a closer hook and moved away immediately just to ensure the gen blockage. Discordance over there. Pain res will keep it in check. She moves away. Needs that Grim Embrace and gets it. Wow. Okay, hold your breath for another 40 seconds. She's bought herself some time. Some time in which she'll really need to close down this chase with Jane. Pushes them away from that pallet. That ensures the M1. They'll be looking for Shaq. One more throw out there. Just hold, send. Good connection. Oh, they go around Shaq. That wasn't what Artist was expecting at all. There was 2 crows sent out, so they'll have plenty of time to repel the crows. They get through that one. Pallet comes down. Mere seconds left on Grim. There it goes. The gens are now operable, and Artist has not been able to close down this chase in the way that she wanted. Discordance over there immediately. Sends out a crow. Put some pressure on them. It connects. It connects. Massive opportunity here. Needs injuries. And gets one on Lara. Lara moving back to the car pallet loop. Shane briefly pushed away from the gen. You know he'll be back on it very, very shortly. Oh, as Lara takes an interesting line here. Artist can come off the tile like that, but the gem pops. The gen pops. What a shame. It was the upstairs one as well. The one that Artist was the least concerned about is the one that pops, which is really a hallmark of how this game has gone. But has that end game hook, has that chance to punish altruism and get more hooks out there. As it stands, 6 hooks. The Bubba Camp will be delighted with such a thing. 99 gate. Maybe not quite 99. Maybe just below 99. Crow on Shane, looking for the M1 before they get the vault. Should be able to get it. They won't even go for it. M1 there. Repels the Crow. Looking for the panel. It was 99. Oh! Just runs into the gate. And it might have been all over right there. Were it not for the fact they just slip into the gate. They're looking for the blind on the hook. They won't get it. Injury on Fung. Injury on Lara. It will be a trade. Lara Croft needs a body block. Doesn't get it. Dying state there. Jane in play will be looking for a way of sabering this hook. Oof. It's gotta be the hook. You've got to find a way of getting this back. Now. Jane could still fall victim to a double hit, courtesy of a Crow. Injury! Dying state! And what a play on the exit gate by Artist. She has salvaged an all-important hook. Assuming she can get over here, she will. And that will turn 8 into 9. And that could be all-important here. Could have also Moried, of course, but it's immaterial. What a game, what a conclusion. GG. Found the exact way to get something more from the end game there. Wow. 9 hooks, 9 hooks. Bubba on Grave of Glenvale. 9 hooks for the Artist, gained in incredibly clutch fashion. Bubba is fallible. Every hook the Artist gets could be pivotal, as they're screaming somewhere. Oh my god, what a discovery for Bubba! Okay, not able to get anything more, but an early dying state there. Discovering a scene partner, Claire Redfield. No blinds in the near future, so that will be a first hook. What a strong start for Bubba. And the Artist camp sweating here. There goes the pallet. Gonna drop it immediately. Going for the blind. Risky play, but it works out. Oh, just trying to guess which direction Dwight went. Guessed incorrectly, unfortunately. There goes Finesse. Oh, big opportunity here. Massive opportunity. Gets the door as well. Very efficient from Bubba. My. He has made a tremendous start to proceedings. Bit of overconfidence from Dwight there. The chassis add-on as well, helping Bubba see the aura reading, get a sense of what Dwight was doing. Heal under the hook is risky. Very risky against this customer. Spies Kate, but also spies Claire, who was hanging around. Going in potentially for the unhook on Dwight, but this is going to be very risky stuff now. Does he get it before the window? Yes! What a fantastic, sensational start for Bubba. Loses a gem, but what a great amount of damage he's already done. Could be DS. It isn't. And basement to boot. This is truly sensational. It wasn't scene partner for Claire, by the way. It must have... was someone else has scene partner out there and is nearby. Is there scratch marks up there? They drop down immediately, or do they double back? Looks like they're doubling back. Oh, it's Hinako. Drawing attention, but Bubba may have eyes only for Dwight here. Gets through to the pallet, a good pallet to get rid of. Oh my dearie me. This is not the place you want to be against Bubba. As Kate also here, goes to dramaturgy. Not great from Bubba there, didn't have the full complement of the charge, just not able to put as much pressure on as he'd like. There's a basement unhook, okay. What a shame, Bubba may have been maybe figured out here. Oh, is that be the M1? Gets the pallet as well, very good, just holding off on the hit until that. As Dwight goes for a double up on the blind. isn't able to get away. Could be dead hard. There it is. And this Bubba is locked in and is not going to get fooled by obvious dead hards like that. So 4 gens left and 2 survivors, both on dead hard. This could be a famous victory for Bubba in round 1 that will turn Group G completely on its head, as there's scratch marks but no sign of a survivor. Oh, they went in for the unhook immediately. Incredibly risky. Dwight's right there. Bubba takes the hit. And now Dwight's in a load of trouble after an incredibly risky unhook. Heading upstairs, looking for the window. Bubba can just bamboozle vault this. And now Dwight is in real trouble again. Looks to the sky for salvation. There will be none, and assuming no DS. It's a sensational early get for Bubba, which absolutely swings things in his direction. He only needs 10 hooks for the win. Right now, he's looking at the full 4K. Jen moving upstairs, Jen moving downstairs. Bubba gonna head upstairs, put some pressure on this. What a ridiculous unhook as well, just so risky. Oh my god, it's an early call from Claire to vault, and Bubba had the opportunity to see them and pivot. He can actually still get Pop Goes a Weasel value, which he will up here. And then, all of a sudden, don't look now, but it's a 2 survivor game. That is outrageous. Bubba has arrived on the World Cup stage, and he's here to take it all. This is not going to be how you get the gen in this situation, I'm afraid. Good presence of mind from Bubba there, not to take the M1. Gets Pop Goes a Weasel, gets the hook. Here is something to consider, though. Artist got that pivotal 9th hook. If they give up on hook and Hinako gets hatch without any hooks herself, it will be a draw. So there is still reason to be locked in if you're Bubba here. Just go about your business properly. It's a 4% for Kate. It's a 4% for Kate, and the hit reg denying Bubba there, the bloodstains, but they're not real. Okay, well, that might actually work in Bubba's favour, weirdly enough, because it takes away that 1 draw condition for the team, for Hinako of getting the hatch. And away she goes. Yeah, that might not be the worst, assuming that there's no nasty surprises on the gens right here. M1, good hit through the pallet there. The 4% is outrageous. What a strange twist in the tab. Look for the M1, doesn't get it. We can zone them away. Does so. And Hinako moving to the periphery. Bubba not taking any chances here. Gets that aura reading. And that will be a dying state. Okay. Yeah, honestly and sincerely, the 4% might have just extinguished any chance the artist had of salvaging something from this opening game. Another hook here, looking for barbecue. Finds it. Kate Denson may not have wanted the escape from the hook, may simply have been giving up there. And here they are. And they're laggy. And they're down. And it is a ridiculously dominant 4K for the Cannibal. What a tough, tough situation for Artist. Where everything went wrong for her, everything went right for Bubba. 4K. Going now to Group G. Cannibal gets his first win of the tournament. Absolutely superlative performance there. Handily defeats the Artist. A big, big shock in round 1. An Artist who has underperformed in tournaments previous may be underperforming again. A 3-way tie for first place between Billy, Legion and Cannibal Myers, and Artist tied for 4th place with 9 hooks apiece, and Demogorgon on the bottom, only 5 hooks to Demo's name.